This is Retro Sports Radio. Visit RetroSeasons.com for more sports history.
The Chicago Cubs faced the Chicago White Sox in Scottsdale, Arizona for a spring training game on April 4th, 1971. The Cubs were managed by Leo DeRocher. They were coming off two consecutive second-place finishes behind the Mets and Pirates and were looking to win their first pennant in 25 years. The White Sox were managed by Chuck Tanner. He was in his first full season after finishing up the disastrous 106-loss season in 1970 under manager Don Guteridge. This audio recording is from the Chicago radio broadcast featuring announcers Harry Carey and Ralph Foucher.
As their first pearl of wisdom today, as she says they have enough umpires today, they have four of them. Here are the lineups for the White Sox, who of course are the visiting team. It'll be B.B. Richards leading it off. Lee Richards playing shortstop. Batting second, playing left field today will be Walt Williams. Williams in left field.
Baseball Hall of Famer.
At second base, batting third will be Mike Andrews. Andrews at second base. At third base, hitting cleanup, will be Bill Melton at third base. At first base, hitting fifth will be Carlos May at first base. Batting sixth and playing center field today will be Rick Reichert. Reichert in center field. In right field, batting seventh will be Rich McKinney, playing right field today. The catcher hitting eighth will be Ed Herman. Herman, the catcher. And the pitcher, right-hander Tom Bradley, who's 24 years old and has had a great spring. The Cub lineup we'll give you in a moment, but right now, B.B. Richards steps into the batter's box and we're all set to go. This is the third final and rubber game between these two clubs. Here is Milt Pappas, first pitch of the ball game. He bunts but pops it in the air. It's going to be an easy out. Pappas is under the ball and has it. Richard on the first pitch tried to bunt and pop the ball to the pitcher, Milt Pappas. That's one out, and here's Walt Williams playing left field and batting second today. Walt Williams. Williams hitting .351 for the spring games with 2 homers and 11 runs batted in. Right-handed batter steps in. The Cubs have Pappas on the mound, Rudolph doing the catching, Hickman at first base, Beckert at second, Kessinger at short, Santo at third. The pitch. Curveball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 man out. Not a cloud in this blanket of azure blue above, from which shines a red-hot sun. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, bouncing ball, foul. Knocked down by Joe Lynette, coaching at third base. Luke Appling got a big hand, Hall of Famer, as he was introduced, coaching at first base. The White Sox trainer, Charlie Sadd, wanting to be remembered to everybody back home. Here's the pitch. He started a swing, held up. It's in there for a strike call. Larry Barnett, the plate umpire. Harold Band is umpiring at first base. Marty Springstead at second base. Haven't identified the umpire at third base as yet. Paul Runge, who's a son of Ed Runge, veteran American League umpire. The pitch swung on, ground ball headed for right field. Hickman knocks it down. Recovers, close play. Out at first base. Play went from Hickman to Pappas covering on a close play. That's 2 gone. It brings up Mike Andrews. And this will give you an idea how Andrews is rated by his manager, Chuck Tanner, the fact that he is batting third. Usually the best hitter of a ball club is the third place hitter. For example, Billy Williams hits third for the Chicago Cubs. 2 men are out, nobody on base. Mike Andrews at the plate. Andrews hitting .385 for the spring game. He's had 1 homer, 12 runs batted in. Big, handsome, right-handed batter. Here's the windup by Pappas, the pitch on the way. Swung at a fastball and he missed it. This baseball field, the Cubs' home training base, this field is encircled by a range of mountains. Very picturesque setting. Now the pitch. Change of pace, swung on a little pop fly. Behind second base, Kessinger going out. Beckert going out. Beckert makes the catch. And that retires the side. Andrews popped to Beckert in short center. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. We move now to the bottom of the first inning. The White Sox, nothing. The Cubs coming to bat.
I'm going to run down and get a Coke, Harry.
prefer a beer if we could.
Going out to their respective coaching boxes now. Down the first baseline, number 5, Joey Amel Patano. And at third base, number 7, Peanut Lowry.
Yeah. Bradley. We go into the bottom half of the first inning. Don Kessinger, switch hitting shortstop, will be the leadoff man, as 24-year-old Tom Bradley, who stands 6'3", weighs 195 pounds, is taking his warm-up tosses. A reminder that the White Sox ticket office at White Sox Park in Chicago is open this afternoon until 4 o'clock, so you still have time to get over there and purchase your tickets for opening day or for any of the other games on the White Sox home schedule. The White Sox open their home schedule, you know, this coming Friday afternoon, April the 9th, against the division champion Minnesota Twins. Choice seats are now available. The Twins will be in town over the weekend, Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. Hope you'll be there in person. So remember, the White Sox ticket office open until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Here's Kessinger, the fine shortstop of the Chicago Cubs. Switch hitter, batting left-handed. Bradley looks down, gets his sign. Ed Herman in the crouch behind the plate. Now Kessinger steps out of the batter's box. Kessinger's had a good spring. Hitting .311. Now the sign, into the windup. Here's the pitch on the way. And there's a curveball in the first strike call. Bradley started him off with a breaking ball and caught that outside corner. We have another crowd in excessive capacity today. It's a very small seating accommodations here at Scottsdale Park. One strike and no ball. Nobody on, nobody out. Beautiful afternoon here. Now Tom Bradley getting set. He wants the rosin bag. And the bat boy brings it out. Don't miss opening day, friends. This coming Friday afternoon, April the 9th. The White Sox against the Twins. Now the signal given. Don Kessinger waiting. Into the windup goes Bradley. The pitch on the way. Fastball in there, a beauty. A strike is called, and man, he had the mustard on that one. 2 strikes and nothing. He really buzzed a fastball. Caught that inside corner at the belt. 2 strikes and nothing. Nobody on, nobody out. Don Kessinger. Left-handed batter against Bradley. Here's the pitch on the way. And it's a fastball, barely missed the outside corner. Bradley is throwing hard. Again, a welcome to stations just joining us this weekend. Will be with us now all season long. WSIV in Pekin, WLNR in Lansing, WRVI in Rockford, WCCR in Champaign. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung line foul into the left field corner. My good friends over at Granite City, right across the river from St. Louis, at WGNU and WFNB in Springfield, along with our other stations who've been with us right along. I think it's going to be a very, very exciting and entertaining year. And Ralph and I will be on hand every day to bring you every exciting thrill and play. Here's the windup, the pitch. Curveball. Pop foul out of play. Our originating station, WEAW in Evanston, with towers atop the Hancock Building in Chicago, so probably one of the greatest FM signals in the country. WTAQ, Ralph Foucher's station in LaGrange. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on. Fouled again out of play into the left field corner. My good friend Bill Hanson's station, WJOL in Joliet. Dundee, WVFV. At South Bend, WRBR. Good friend Frank Crozier over there. And a hotbed of baseball interest down in Bloomington, WBNQ, who've been with us all along. Here's the windup. The pitch on the way. Swung on, a high pop fly, short left center. Everybody chasing it. Walt Williams is there, and he makes the catch. Kessinger popped to Williams in short left. I told Walt Williams, you know, yesterday we were assuming that it was the wind and the sun that was causing all the outfielders the trouble. But that wasn't it at all. It's this high sky with the ball. There's no background. The ball comes off the bat. The background is a lot of white shirts. And because of this high sky, there's no clouds at all to serve as a background. And the players don't see the ball come off the bat. They're more or less groping and searching for it, never having seen it leave the bat. One out, nobody on. The pitch on the way. Beckert hits one hard into left field. A base hit. Glenn Beckert is on there. He really slashed that ball hard. So, Beckert on at first base with one out. And here is Billy Williams. What a hitter. He homered yesterday. Our engineer, Tom Kenfield, popping with the drinks today. Too bad we don't have a beer sponsor. We could sure ad-lib a plug right now. See what you're missing? Breweries everywhere. Runner at first base, one out. Billy Williams digs in. The pitch on the way. Curveball a little bit low. One ball, no strikes. One out, one on. Bottom of the first inning. Ah, there's that great Cub fan over here to the left. Mamie Hunt. Cheering her heroes on. Now the pitch on the way. Swung on, bounce foul. Boy, what a cut this guy gets every time up there. Billy Williams. Billy hit .322 last year with 42 homers and 129 RBI. He'll go over the 300 mark in career home runs this year. Left-handed batter. Here's Bradley throwing the ball over to Carlos May. Wasn't actually on the bag.
Okay, let's go.
Now Bradley ready. The outfield plays deep. Here's the stretch, the pitch, and the fastball is high. Hey, Dave Nightingale. He lost his Florida tan 2 days in Chicago. Has just rejoined the White Sox to cover for the Chicago Daily News. What do you call that scarf you're wearing around your neck?
Apache, Harry.
I'll blow a kiss at you the way you look. The pitch is high.
This is Apache country.
What's that?
This is Apache country. You wear Apaches out here.
I will say you do look sweet, dear.
What was your last haircut, Harry?
Oh, is he dressed funny? Billy Williams, the batter. Here's the stretch. The pitch on the way, and it's a slow curve outside. He walked him. And the Cubs have something going here. Runners at first and second with one out. And here's Ron Santos.
Is number 10,
The fine third
Ron
baseman.
Santos, third base.
Santos had a great spring. He hit .267 last year with 26 homers. He drove in 114 runs. The year before, he hit 29 homers, drove in 123 runs. This guy's always around that 100 mark on RBIs. Santo, 31 years old. He's been with the Cubs since 1960. So this is his 12th year. Runners at first and second, one out. Here's Bradley getting ready. The pitch on the way. Swung at a curveball, and he fouled it back, and he had a good cut. One strike and no ball. Beautiful afternoon. The baseball season opens tomorrow in the nation's capital. The Senators entertain the Oakland A's. Here's the stretch, the pitch on the way. Curve into the dirt, blowing outside, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Baltimore's Orioles, like Chicago's White Sox, don't open their season until Wednesday. Maybe there's a good omen there. The White Sox opening the same day that the world champions do. One ball, one strike, Ron Santo waiting. Tom Bradley's pitch. Off the stretch, here it is. Curveball bounced on the ground to Melton. His play will be to second base for one, and that's the only play they can get, as Andrews came up with a low throw. Santo forces Williams from Melton to Andrews. That's two
The
gone,
next
and
batter,
here's
number
Jim
28,
Hickman.
Jim Hickman, first base.
There's a fellow who's coming to greatness late in his career after years of mediocrity. He started back in 1956 with Albany. There's a guy never hit 300 in the minor leagues even. Last year, though, he had some kind of year. He hit 315, 32 homers, 115 runs batted in. Jim Hickman, right-handed batter, the stretch the pitch. It's a fastball a little bit low. These are the kind of situations Hickman was great in for the Cubs. With 2 outs, the difference between having an inning and being scoreless. Many's the 2-out hit he got. Runners at first and third. Tom Bradley, 24-year-old right-hander, getting set. Now to stretch the pitch on the way. Here it is. Curveball a little bit low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast wherever you might be. Now the signal given. The pitch on the way. Here it is. High fly.
At this point, the cassette tape broke. We've missed about an inning during which the White Sox scored a couple runs. We pick it up now with Kenny Holtzman pitching for the Cubs and Joe Pepitone at first.
On the suicide squeeze, he starts running with the pitch. And the responsibility belongs to the hitter to be sure to bunt the ball. Here it is. He bunts but foul on his safety squeeze again. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a lot of beautiful scenery around Scottsdale. And the trees and the grass and the foliage and the mountains and some rather pretty girls in attendance also. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. He was going to bunt, but it's low and outside. What was that, Mrs. Hunt? What'd you say?
I said, I wonder when you're going to get around to the pretty girl.
You can't get away with anything up here. That was Mamie Hunt, this great Cub fan sitting before us. Here's the pitch. Bunted foul in the air. And what Chuck Tanner is doing here is he wants to stay away from the double play. And so even though he doesn't have the suicide squeeze on, he has had Bradley bunting, hoping that he'll sacrifice Herman the second and put it all up to B.B. Richard to get both runners home. Now to stretch by Pappas, the pitch. He's going to bunt again, but it's outside. And it goes to 3 and 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bradley takes a look over at Joe Horlen. One thing you will notice, the White Sox this year, here's a pitch. He bunts down the first baseline. Hey, they let it roll. It stays fair. Now they throw the first in time. That was a smart play by Rudolph. He let the ball roll, hoping it would go foul, which would make it a strikeout. But Bradley is credited with a sacrifice. From Rudolph to Beckert covering. And it's runners at second and third. Now we'll pause quickly for identification. This is the Chicago White Sox Baseball Network.
Lee Richard, shortstop.
Harry, look at that girl down there.
This is Harry Carey with Ralph Foucher. B.B. Richard up there, the pitch low and outside. He's got a chance to drive in 2 runs. White Sox out in front. Runners at second and third, 2 away. 1 ball, no strike on B.B. Richard. Chokes up on the bat. 22-year-old infielder. Now the windup. Here's the pitch on the way. Swings and he fouled tips, and he had a good cut at that one. The count evened up. B.B. from Austin, Texas. He makes his home there. Born in Lafayette, Louisiana. He'll be 23 in September. Louis Alvarado is 21 years old. B.B. Richard was in college at Southern University a year ago at this time. Now the signal given. The windup. Here's the pitch on the way. Swings and he fouled tips. He's in the hole. B.B. Richard waiting. 2 strikes and a ball. Now the signal given. Waiting for the signal is Pappas. 2 strikes and a ball on B.B. Richard. The windup, the pitch. Swung on, high pop fly, short left field, should be caught. Kessinger going out, Williams coming in. Billy calls for the ball and makes the catch. Richard pop.
No errors, 2 men left on
So Billy Williams. 2 runs scored. There were 3 hits, no errors, 2 men left. And we go now in the bottom of the second with a score. White Sox 2, the Cubs nothing.
Folks, this will be your last chance to purchase the 1971 Chicago Cub roster book. For complete information on all the ball players, plus old-time Chicago Cub records and modern records. All the information
Many died vainly searching for gold, huh?
The 1971 roster book now on sale at the ticket booth in front of the main entrance to the grandstand.
I died vainly last night. Hey, for a guy that was talking about all these 18, 19-year-old girls, how come you wound up with 2 gone 67? There's the guy talking about all these places where he runs into all these girls. Oh,
I'll take you out there tomorrow, Harry.
gee, I was really disappointed in you. Yeah, let's see. What's all oh, he hates him since about 87 years old.
Yeah, I know. I saw her this morning. You can imagine how I felt before. We're going there and looking for
I just found out, I've talked about this range of mountains which encircles the ballpark and making for this most picturesque setting. One range is called the Superstition Mountains. Another one is called the Lost Dutchman Gold Range. Now, many died vainly searching for gold in this range of mountains. I guess that's why they so named it the Lost Dutchman Gold. Be surprised what you can learn on this program. Here we go, bottom of the second inning. Johnny Callison leading off for the Cubs. First pitch, he swings at a curve and he misses. 1 strike and no ball. Nobody on and nobody out. An old friend and a great umpire some years ago, Jocko Conlon on hand here. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, fly ball. Looping in the left center field for a base hit. Here's Callison around first base, he'll hold. Callison loops a single in the left center. That will bring up Jose Ortiz, who seemingly has won the regular center field job.
The next batter, number 20, Jose Ortiz.
With Joe Pepitone being ill the last few days, or week or so. Ortiz has been outstanding. 3 games in a row, he has had 3 hits in each contest. So he's totaled 9 hits in the last 3 games. Runner at first base, nobody out. Ball game at the bottom of the second. White Sox out in front. 2-0. Here's a quick throw to first. The runner is back. Now the signal given. Right-hand hitter waits. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, fly ball, center field, deep, going back, Reichert. He's there now. Makes the catch. Ortiz flies deep to Rick Reichert in straightaway center field. 1 out. And that will bring up the catcher, Ken Rudolph. Pressed into regular duty as a result of the injury to Randy Hundley, the Cubs' #1 receiver. Ball game, bottom of the second, 2-0 in favor of the White Sox. Now the signal given. Ken Rudolph, right-hand batter. Went through the entire season last year without hitting a home run. Here's the pitch. And it's a fastball outside. Rudolph straddles the plate. Now the stretch by Tom Bradley. Here's the pitch. There's a base hit in the center field. Johnny Callison is rolling deep out there. Reichert cuts it off. Throwing into second base. It'll be a double. Rudolph doubles into right center field. Reichert made quite a play to keep the ball from rolling to the wall, which would enable the run to score. And now that brings up a pretty good hitting pitcher in Milt Pappas, with runners at second and third and only 1 out.
32, Milt Pappas, pitcher.
Rudolph last year was with the Cubs for part of the season with San Antonio for the rest of the year. So he came through with a double into right center field. That leaves runners at second and third now with 1 away, and Tom Bradley's going to have to go to work. Milt Pappas will be the batter, and he's a good-hitting pitcher. Bradley gets set. Here's the pitch. Curveball of beauty in there. A strike is called. Pappas makes his home in Wheaton, Illinois. Started the year with Atlanta last year, won 2, lost 2, and then with the Cubs won 10, lost 8. Here's the pitch. And it's a little bit low. That evens it up at a ball and a strike. Pappas was a member of the American League All-Star team 3 different times. Runners at second and third, the infield playing back. Here's Bradley pitching off the stretch. The pitch on the way. He swings and he misses a curveball. Bradley going for that strikeout here. Don Kessinger will be up there next. We're in the bottom of the second. White Sox lead 2-0. Peanuts Lowry, who used to star for the Cubs and then other clubs, coaching at third base. Joey Amalfitano, who used to be with the Giants, coaching at first base. Now the signal given. 2 strikes and a ball. Bradley wants that strikeout here. Here's the pitch. Swings and he foul tips. He's still alive. 2 strikes and a ball. Hot sunshine. You don't seem to get a tan here, though, for some strange reason. It's 105 degrees, and you sit out there 8 hours, and nothing happens. In Florida, you sit in the sunshine about 5 minutes, and you blister.
Wait till they see you, I.
2 strikes and a ball. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Infield playing back. Here's Tom Bradley getting ready. Here's the pitch. He struck him out on a high fastball. Pappas goes down swinging. So there's the first strikeout, and he got it when he really needed it. Now he's got a tough left-handed batter to face, and Don Kessinger, who's a switch hitter. 2 men are out, runners at second and third. Kessinger with a chance to tie up the ball game here. The outfield shades Kessinger towards left. They give him a lot of room in right center. Kessinger chokes up on the bat. This fellow's made himself quite a ball player. One of the best shortstops in the game. The pitch. Swung on late and fouled out of play off to the left field side. 1 strike and no ball. Kessinger from Forest City, Arkansas. 29 years old on July 17th. Hit .266 last year. He had 1 home run, 39 runs batted in. 2 away. Ball game in the second inning. Tom Bradley trying to pitch out of a jam. Callison at third base, Rudolph at second base. Bradley, a tall, rangy right-hander, wears glasses. Now he gets set. 1 strike and no ball. The pitch on the way. Bouncing ball is short. Richard should throw him out. There's the peg. In time to retire the side. Lee Richard throws out Kessinger. And it's no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. At the end of 2 full innings. White Sox 2. What's your name?
Chicago Bulls 80, Los Angeles Lakers 72.
I ran down one time to Scott for you was pick up Older Johnson.
Not me. This was my first year in Chicago. That was the first time I've ever worked there. Oh, when I was a St. Louis. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. It was good to see you, Tom.
Some celebration you wanted, and I ran down. You never traded me there.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. I didn't give you a solid roll.
I sure.
You forgot to mention.
Another souvenir we're sure you'd like to pick up
Yeah. Mummy Mountains over there.
is the Silver Anniversary Souvenir Yearbook.
Mummy Mountains were
Camelback, I know.
It has the complete history of the Cactus League, highlights, and stories of all the teams that have played in the Cactus League.
And they called Scottsdale,
It's
Chicago.
an item we are sure you'll enjoy, and it's for sale in front of the grandstand for only $1.
Is that right? Okay, watch it. We go into the top of the third. Tom Dunleavy used to be a Andy Frayne usher in Chicago. Now works for Senator Barry Goldwater out here. Was just giving me some information. Number 1, they call Scottsdale Chicago Annex, he tells me. So many people from Chicago are making their home here. The most famous range of these mountains I've been talking about is Camelback. Then there's another range called the Mummy Mountains, another one called the McDowell. We learned something. Here's Walt Williams. First pitch in there is strike call. One strike and no balls. Nobody on, nobody out. We're in the top of the third. White Sox out in front, 2-0. Now the pitch. Hey, a knuckleball inside. That's something that Pappas has developed, apparently. Now the signal given. 1-1 pitch. It's in there. A strike is called. Walt Williams in the hole now. 2 strikes and a ball. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the third. White Sox out in front, 2-0. They could claim the baseball championship of Chicago with a victory over the Cubs today. Here's the pitch. Smashed on the ground. Second baseman Beckert has it over to first. Easy out. One gone. Here's Mike Andrews. He popped up his first time. Former Chicago sports writer in retirement out here. Ed Prell, who used to write for the Chicago Tribune. A wonderful gentleman, a good writer, good sports writer, making his home out here now. Rick Talley of the Chicago Today, along with his running mate Jim Enright of the same paper. Eddie Munzel. On hand, Dave Nightingale of the Chicago Daily News. Munzel, of course, of the Chicago Sun-Times. Here's a pitch to Andrews. In there, a strike is called. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 man out. We're in the third. 2-0 White Sox. Here's the pitch to Mike Andrews. Swings and he fouls it back, and boy, he had a good cut. 2 strikes and a ball, he's in the hole. Beautiful day in Scottsdale. If my friend Bill Maybeck is listening at the Ambassador East, have the room ready about 2 o'clock in the morning. Wednesday, technically Thursday a.m. Here's the pitch, swung on, long drive, center field. Ortiz way back, drifting, waiting now, makes the catch. Ortiz went about 400 feet away for Andrews' long drive. 2 up, 2 down. And here's Bill Melton, who started things off with a double in the second. Right-handed batter. This fellow, by the way, has had a good spring. He's the best-kept secret in baseball. He has 14 RBIs this spring. Here's a pitch foul out of play. Out of his 20 hits, 11 have been for extra bases, making now 12 of his 21 hits for extra bases. Last year he hit 33 homers, drove in 96 runs, and nobody even knew he was around. And like he says, all he ever heard about was the errors he made, and never about what he hit. Not many men hit 33 home runs. Leo DeRocha, the manager of the Cubs, sitting out in the sunshine at the moment. 2 out, nobody on. The windup, the pitch. A little bit inside. Bill Milt, strong right-hand hitter. White Sox leading. Now the signal. Here's the pitch by Pappas. Swung on, a long drive, deep left field, way back. Might be out of here. It could be. It is a home run. Holy cow, did he give that ball a ride. Bill Melton clears the left field wall at the 380 mark, and the White Sox now lead 3-0. As my good friend Jack Brickhouse would say, hey, hey.
Next batter, number 17, Carlos Bay, first base.
Hey, Jocko, how are you? Sit down here a minute. Jocko Connon, I was just talking about you a few minutes ago. And the White Sox lead 3-0. Here's Carlos May, takes the pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Jocko, your friends in Chicago will be tickled to death to know how good you look. You look marvelous.
I feel pretty good, Harry.
I
That
see.
whole sunshine is terrific out here.
1 ball, no strikes. 2 men out, a run in, the pitch. Slider a little bit inside. Say, your son is a big, what is a congressman here, isn't he?
No, state senator. Going
State-
to run for Congress.
State senator. Little did you dream when you were breaking your leg for the White Sox as a player that you'd have the career that you've had and raise a son to be a state senator?
No,
Nice things have happened.
John's a good boy. The only thing I'm interested in right now is for the results of Tuesday's election for my good pal Dick Daly. He's got to win about 7 or 8 to 1 against that switch hitter.
Hey, here's a ground ball hit to the second baseman. Up with it over to first base in time to retire the side. Hey, Jocko,
One run.
you're entitled to your personal opinion, but they can't get equal time because this is our last broadcast and the election will be on. So we'll just forgive you talking in the zeal of the moment because what Mayor Daly must be a friend of yours.
Oh, we were raised together. He's the greatest living American in my book.
Jocko, you know, we were going to talk baseball, and we'll be back.
Oh, yeah. Say that Carlo Naked swing that bat pretty good.
Let me give the totals here for a moment. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We move now to the bottom half of the third inning with a score. The White Sox 3, the Cubs nothing. Oh, man, you're great. That's enough.
Yeah.
Wait. It's dead? About who?
He doesn't, Jocko, he doesn't need the votes.
Kind of wins big. He's a big leaguer.
What's the disclaimer they make? Any opinions expressed? Any political.
Something like that.
Folks, it's warming up in Chicago. It's now 38 degrees. In Scottsdale, 86.
My wife today, she said yesterday you said it was snowing in Chicago. She's driving down the street and the sun was shining.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. You got
That's
that.
what they announced.
Did he?
Yeah.
The batter number 18, Glenn Becker, second pitch.
We're going into the bottom of the third. White Sox out in front, 3-0. Glenn Beckert will lead it off for the Chicago Cubs. Any political opinions expressed on this program are strictly those of the man expressing them. Here's the pitch swung on a bouncing ball. Melton in foul territory fields at strike 1. Jocko, I guess the thing you watch when you see a ball game, you watch the work of the umpires more than the players, don't you?
That's right, I do. Since I retired playing ball, my whole life was umpiring. And I really love the game, and I miss it. But, you know, I would love to see the Cubs and White Sox win.
I'd love to see
Wouldn't that be a tremendous series?
Oh, it'd be tremendous.
Oh,
Here's a pitch to Glenn Becker now, and it's a curveball, low and outside. That evens it up at a ball and a strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the third. 3-0 in favor of the White Sox. Bill Melton hit a homer. The pitch. Slow curveball outside. 2 balls and a strike. The Cubs, that Pittsburgh ball club, Jocko, you know, they train over in Florida, and we saw them all spring long, and they're going to be tough to beat. They got some bombers up and down the lineup. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, a fly ball, deep right center field, going over for McKinney. Going deep, reaches up, and makes the catch nicely. Beckert flies deep to Rich McKinney in right center. 1 away.
The batter is
Did you know Chuck Tanner, Jocko?
yeah, real well. He was a great kid. I remember when he broke into the National League. And he's been a high-class fella. And I saw him manage out here in Pacific Coast League last year because I go to all the games at night here. And he done a real good job. And he's a very real personable young fella. And I wish him a lot of luck. He's a kid that had a lot of class about him all the way. I'm sure the White Sox fans are going to like him real well, too.
Here's Billy Williams, a pitch, swung on, long drive, deep center, going back. Reichert, he's got it. Hey, that ball was really hit on the nose. Jocko, you've seen... Yeah, Jocko, you've seen many great stars, is there, eh? This Billy Williams as a hitter must be as good as any of them.
Yeah, he's got about as even a swing as you'd ever want to lay your eyes on. He and Aaron.
Henry Aaron, yeah.
You know, Aaron, I used to stop the game a couple of times because I thought he was taking a nap between pitches. He put the bat under his shoulder, and I said, "You awake, Henry?" He said, "Who?" I said, "You." He said, "What?"
But when the ball comes over the plate, those eyes will pop open.
Oh, man, how he can swing that bat.
Here's Ron Santo, the fine third baseman of the Cubs. 2 out, nobody on. Ball game in the bottom of the third. White Sox leading at 3-0. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball is in there, a beauty. A strike is called.
He's having a great year, Harry.
This kid looks
He's a good
good.
ball player. He's been a steady, real good ball player ever since he came in the league.
2 men out. Santo waiting. He's had a real good spring, as Jocko mentioned. The delivery now. Curveball hit on the ground to the left of Richard. On the run, he's got it one-handed. Here's a peg. Nice play to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. A sparkling play by B.B. Richard. Nothing across, and at the end of 3 full innings, the score, White Sox 3, Cubs nothing.
That kid's going to be a good ball player.
Chicago White Sox 3.
The end of the inning,
Chicago Cubs 7.
make a little money.
Folks, we certainly hope you've enjoyed
Major
Major League Baseball this spring here in Scottsdale.
Yeah, good.
We'd like to recognize right now some hardworking gentlemen
all summer.
who without their efforts this would not be possible. 5 years ago, we lost spring practice here in Scottsdale. They went to
Whatever you want.
Chicago, brought the Cubs back here. They're part of the Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce. They call themselves the Scottsdale Charros. A lot of them are in attendance right now. We'd like for them to stand up and be recognized. The Scottsdale Charros, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to stay at the Ambassador East. I'm going to stay at the Ambassador East and find some manager. It's going to be a good deal.
Yeah, well, that's big league there.
We're going to the top of the fourth. The White Sox are out in front, 3-0. Here's Rick Reichert to lead it off. Jocko, naturally, I'll be living in Chicago all summer long. You better make a list of places for me to go.
Well, I can straighten you out on that, but wait till those fans hear you in Chicago for a while. They'll think that you're right back there in St. Louis, and those fans love you there. They love you all over the country. And he's going to make it exciting, folks, when he gets down to business and broadcast that ball game. You think you're in your living room, you think you were right in the ballpark listening to him.
Thank you,
In fact,
Jack.
the people out in the stands here can hear him. When I was umpiring, I could hear him up there.
Are you insinuating I'm loud?
No, it's a good way of delivering.
Hey, Pat, how are you?
You're exciting. You give them something to think about when the ball game's on. Not one of those strike, and then about 2 minutes later, ball. When I retired umpiring, I'm out here. I said, who's playing? You know, right, one ball. Strike.
Jocko, you're really too much, you know. Reichert has just flied out to center field. There's one gone. Here's Rich McKinney hitting a high pop fly. Callison coming in, makes the catch in short right. 2 up to the... Jocko, I appreciate the nice words. We've known each other a long...
I've known you for 30 years.
The next batter, number 12, Ed.
Of course, I started when I was only 8 years old, right?
I know, you're 38 or 9 now. You and Benny.
Jocko, sure a pleasure to see you. Real joy. Thank you for dropping by.
I really enjoyed being here with you. This is great.
Thank you very much.
Brother here.
Jocko Conlon.
Take me out of Chicago, but you can't take Chicago out of me.
Boy, I tell you, he's the greatest advertisement for the city of Chicago I've ever heard. 2 men are out. Ed Herman, the batter. Here's the pitch on the way. And he takes a sinking fastball low. And one of the great men out here in Arizona, one of the great sportsmen, so responsible. He's had so much to do with the team's training out this way. An old friend and a great guy, Pat Patterson, just dropped by. And a pleasure to say hello. Here's a pitch swung on and foul back.
How you doing, Pat? Good to see you.
2 men are out. Ed Herman, the batter. The score, 3-0. Jocko, thanks again.
All right.
Okay, buddy. 2 men gone. Here's Pappas getting ready. The White Sox have a 3-0 lead. Bill Melton homered. Melton doubled also. Here's the pitch. Swung on, bouncing ball, and is fouled down the first base line. Melton started our 2-run inning in the second with a leadoff double. Scored when May tripled. May scored when Riker doubled. Then Melton homered with 2 out in the third. So Big Bill Melton, the White Sox slugging third baseman, has played an instrumental role in the current 3-0 lead. Now the sign given. Here's Pappas' pitch. Swung and a high pop foul back and out of play. 2 strikes and a ball. You know, Ed Herman lost about 30 pounds during the winter. He can run faster, he can throw better, he can catch better, but he hasn't hit as well. Now, I don't know if there's any analogy to be drawn. 2 strikes and a ball. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play. Beautiful afternoon. There'll be some big days for the youngsters coming up at White Sox Park this season, starting with T-shirt day, Sunday, May the 9th. Then there'll be a batting glove day on Sunday, May the 30th. You know, the batting gloves the big leaguers use when they're at the plate. Here's a pitch foul. Then, of course, the ever-popular Bat Day, where the youngsters get a replica of the bats that their favorite ball players use, suitable for Little League play, sandlot play, autographed by various players on the White Sox. That's Bat Day, Sunday, June the 6th. And Helmet Day, Sunday, July the 11th. And boy, the White Sox have these colors coming up at White Sox Park this season, starting with T-shirt day, Sunday, May the 9th. Then there'll be a batting glove day on Sunday, May the 30th. You know, the batting gloves the big leaguers use when they're at the plate. Here's a pitch foul. Then, of course, the ever-popular Bat Day, where the youngsters get a replica of the bats that their favorite ball players use, suitable for Little League play, sandlot play, autographed by various players on the White Sox. That's Bat Day, Sunday, June the 6th. And Helmet Day, Sunday, July the 11th. And boy, the White Sox have these colorful red batting helmets. I know that'll be a popular attraction. Helmet Day, Sunday, July the 11th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Ed Herman. He struck him out, swinging. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. And we move along now to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The score, White Sox 3 and the Cubs nothing.
You know, I'm worried, though. I was telling these guys about that. Unbelievable odds. And yesterday when I went down, I'm sure I was going to see a broken windshield. 2 or 3 days. How you been, Pat?
Pretty good.
How's everything in Mesa?
Same old 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You picked up pretty good tan down there.
Yeah, oh, the weather's been great.
You look a little better than you did. You look pretty pale.
Hey, Pat. How's the weather?
Is Charlie down?
Good.
Oh, they broke camp already.
Yeah, they left last night. No, he never come down.
Yeah, wasn't he down all season? What's this I hear about him going to Glendale? Is that right? Is he still staying in Mesa? Does he have a contract in Mesa? Boy, this weather has been great.
See you.
Okay, Pat, you're good to see you.
Let's pause for identification. This is the Chicago White Sox Baseball Network.
Hey, could I send a message back to Chicago? Could you say hello to all White Sox friends from Johnny Palka?
Johnny who?
Palka. P-A-L-K-A.
P-E-L-K?
P-A-L-K-A.
Okay, all right. Sure. Okay. This is Harry Carey with Ralph Foucher from Scottsdale, Arizona. As we go into the bottom half of the 4th inning, Jim Hickman will be leading off. A young White Sox fan named Johnny Pelka, wanting to be remembered to.
Number 28, Jim
Oh, the home folks.
First base.
Here's Hickman. Fouled out his first time up. Ball game of the 4th. Rick Talley of Chicago Today will be Ralph's guest on the postgame show today. Here's Hickman leading it off. Remember, the White Sox led 2-0 yesterday until the Cubs exploded. Here's a bouncing ball to Milt. Charges, nice pickup. Hop, skip, and throw. He's out. Good play. White Sox looking sharp out there. Milt had a tough play. The ball sharply hit. He charged, fielded on the short hop, and then threw perfectly. Here's Johnny Callison singled in the second inning. 1 out, nobody on. Tom Bradley will pitch the home opener next Friday afternoon against the Minnesota Twins. A 1:15 game. All the day games that the White Sox play start at 1:15. All the night games start at 8. Remember, the White Sox office will be open. Ticket office will be open 1 more hour today. In case you want to drive by and pick up tickets, here's the pitch. Curveball in there, a strike call. The White Sox ticket office will be open until 4 o'clock this afternoon. You can purchase tickets for opening day or for any of the other games on the White Sox home schedule. They're open during the week, of course, every day. Here's the pitch. Swung it, line right back to Bradley. Callison hit a low line drive that Tom Bradley stabbed with his glove. And that's 7 in a row retired by Bradley. Here's Jose Ortiz now. 2 men out, nobody on. White Sox leading 3-0. Come on, Dave. Did you ever think of being a nurse when you were a kid, Dave?
What did you say, Commander?
2 men are out, nobody on base. Ortiz, the hitter. Used to be with the White Sox organization. The pitch swung on, bouncing ball is short. BB will get him with a good throw. And he's out. From Richard to May. 1-2-3 again. Boy, this kid rolling right along. He's retired the last 8 in a row that he's faced. And at the end of 4 innings it remains. White Sox 3, Cubs nothing.
Here's a change in the Chicago Cub lineup. Now going out to pitch, number 30, Ken Holtzman. And here's the score late in the 4th quarter. The NBA playoffs, the Chicago Bulls 110, Los Angeles 95.
And here's another brief break in the action as I repaired and then changed another cassette tape.
Runner at first, 2 out, ball game in the 5th. There goes the runner. Strike call, there's the bag, and he is in with a stolen base. Wild throw on his way to third base is B.B. Richard. There he goes again. Rudolph threw the ball badly. The ball skipped into center field, and Richard came all the way around to third. And how many has he stolen so far this spring? That's his 12th stolen base. He's been in 25 games. How you doing, L.A.? Charlie, how are you? Here's the pitch to Mike Andrews, and the curveball is low. 1 ball, no strikes. The proprietor of the Pink Pony, a very popular place in Scottsdale, Charlie Bryard. On hand, here's the pitch, a curveball inside. I don't know whether I should give him that plug, because he's got a great big Cub banner in that place. Boy, this is really, that's quite a name, Chicago NX. There are a lot of Chicago people here. Mike Andrews trying to get the run home, the pitch. Bouncing ball to the shortstop's left. Kessinger has it, throws in time to retire the side. So it is no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. We move down to the bottom half of the 5th inning with the score still White Sox 3, Cubs nothing.
Here's a couple of scores from the NBA playoffs, both finals. Milwaukee 136, San Francisco 87. And here's another final score, the Chicago Bulls 113, Los Angeles 99.
The Jack Kent cook probably told him to make it go 7 games. final scores in the NBA, the Chicago Bulls have extended the playoffs into the seventh final and decisive game, which will be played in Los Angeles this week. They beat the Lakers 113-99 this afternoon in Chicago. Milwaukee won its playoffs, and listen to this. They walloped the San Francisco Warriors by 49 points. They beat them 136-87. What are the odds on Lou Alcindor being scoreless in that game? He probably got 100 himself. Here's Rudolph, who doubled his first time at bat, leading it off for the Cubs in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch a little bit low. Tom Bradley has pitched 4 brilliant innings. He's got a 3-0 lead. Yesterday, the White Sox were leading 2-0 in the bottom of the fifth. And then the Cubs exploded. Here's the pitch low. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody on, nobody out. Joe Pepitone will be next. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Boy, is that here for real? Now to wind up the pitch. Bouncing ball to his left, Milt, to his right, Richard, a long throw. Out at first base. Holy cow. The Cubs are arguing about it. B.B. Richard went far to his right behind Milt. It didn't look as if he had any chance to throw him out. And then fired the ball across the diamond on the pickup to Carlos May, who came up with the ball for the out. They're arguing about it. Leo DeRocher comes out now. But it will not affect the decision. Rudolph is thrown out on the great play from B.B. Richard in the hole to Carlos May, who came up with a bad throw. The Cubs are claiming that May was off the bag when he took the low pickup. Leo DeRocher and Peanuts Lowry are talking to Larry Burnett, the plate umpire. I guess they feel that Burnett should overrule the first base umpire, feeling that he would have seen that May was off the bag. Whatever, Rudolph is out. And here's Joe Pepitone. The discussion now, Leo DeRocher, he's calling the first base umpire down the line. And the umpire is making him walk towards him. The umpire at first base is Harold Van. Now he's talking to DeRocher, Leo with a big 2 on the back of his uniform. The score 3-0 in favor of the White Sox.
Does anybody have a...
1 man out, nobody on. Ball game in the fifth. Joe Pepitone waiting to hit next. This gives us a chance to remind you that the White Sox, in cooperation with the Chicago Tribune, are again offering free White Sox tickets to straight A and perfect attendance students. So if you had perfect attendance during the fall semester or straight A's during the last marking period, be sure to see your school principal for a ticket request form. The White Sox Tribune straight A program includes Cook County, DuPage County, and all Chicago schools. So Leo DeRocher comes back to the dugout now.
The batter is number 8.
Here's Joe Pepitone.
First base.
1 out, nobody on. Pepitone, very unhappy with the Yankees, very unhappy with Houston. Tickled to death to be in Chicago. Born in Brooklyn, New York. Pepitone, 31 years old. Cubs got a lot of guys in that 30 bracket. Here's a curveball in there, a strike call. 1 strike to no balls. And many people feel that this has got to be the year they win, or else it's going to be the last hurrah for a while, because so many of the ball players are right at that same 32, 33 age level. Pepitone with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on. Now the fifth. Curveball hit on the ground. Bouncing ball. Andrews in. Big hop. Throws to first. Easy out. Boy, this Bradley has handcuffed him so far. Cubs with their regular lineup in there.
Now coming to bat, number 11.
They've used both Pappas and Holtzman. Both of them were starters. And here's Kessinger with 2 out and nobody on. All game in the bottom of the 5th. Bill Melton will be leading off the 6th for the Cubs, and he's been red hot, or rather for the White Sox, and he's been red hot with a double and a homer. Yesterday he had 3 hits, a couple of doubles. So here's Kessinger, 2 away. Here's the wind-up, the pitch. He was going to bunt, the fastball is high. Two men are out. Ball game in the 5th. Now the signal given. Tom Bradley, 24-year-old youngster, went to Maryland University. Here's a bouncing ball hit to B.B. Richard. Hop, skip, and throw in time. Easy inning again. That's a 3rd straight perfect inning that Bradley has pitched. He has retired the last 11 men that he's faced. So it's nothing across. And at the end of 5, the score, the White Sox 3, the Cubs nothing.
Take a break. We're down that aisle over there about the top step. There's a sharp-looking woman with a skirt on. She's got her knees out there. Right here, anything bad about her. She's wearing white underpants. It's right on the other side of her. No, I'm not. There she comes back up. She's supposed to be or something.
Oh, there's some over there.
What is it?
Bradley goes opening day.
Oh, yeah, Friday.
The batter number 14, Bill Melton, third base.
We're going to the 6th. The hitting star of the game so far. Bill Melton will lead it off, and now to tell you all about it, here's Ralph Boucher.
All right, Harry, the top of the 6th inning in Melton, as Harry mentioned, has been one of the hitting stars in this ballgame today. He doubled and scored in the 2nd inning, and he homered with the bases empty in the 3rd. Bill Melton. Ken Holtzman came in the 5th inning. The ground ball sharply to 3rd base. Saturday. Throw across the infield, and Melton is out number 1. You know, the more we see this youngster, Tom Bradley, pitch, the more we want to...
The batter number 17, Carlos May, first base.
See him pitch on opening day at home. That's on Friday afternoon, Good Friday. He is a dandy. 1 down. Carlos May. He tripled. Wrote in a run and scored a run in the 2-run 2nd. All the scoring in the ball game done in the 2nd inning and the 3rd. 2 in the 2nd for the Sox and 1 in the 3rd. 3-0. The White Sox. May takes a strike call. Ken Holtzman has not had the kind of spring he'd like to have. He's appeared in 5 ball games. He is 1-4. High inside the May with a 5.63 earned run average. Ken Holtzman, 117 last year, 117 the year before. Pitch swung on, driven deep right field. Right field they're coming on. Callison calling for it, has to lean in on this one, and he's got it on the line.
The batter number 48, Rick Reichert, center field.
Callison had to hurry his pace just a little bit. 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. Brings up center fielder Rick Reichert. Doubled in a run in the 2nd inning. And hit the ball well as he flied out in the 4th inning.
Hey, that's going to go over the fence.
Rick Reichert. Who to bat next? Here's Rich McKinney if Reichert gets on. Kenny Holtzman said, here comes the next pitch. Fastball struck at strike 2. Dale Holtzman from St. Louis. Pulls the string just a little bit high and outside. A ball, 1, strike 2 count. Rick Reichart. Playing in center field in this ballgame today with Walt Williams in left. They're making a couple of changes from the north. A foul ball out of play off the right side. Cubs using what probably will be their opening lineup when they open at home on Tuesday. Let's hope the weather. Ground ball past the pitch. Shortstop Kessinger up it. Throws. In time, he got him by 2 steps. In the inning.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Still made themselves
The White Sox. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. At the end of 5 1/2, it's still the White Sox 3 and the Cubs nothing.
Wipe your eyes out. Oh, yeah.
Boy, that sun's good. Thanks for the beer, man. Your gentleman is solid.
Right to the pool after the game. Right to the pool. Right to the pool after the game.
Well, whatever it is.
Here's the change for the White Sox. Now coming into this, number 20, Joe Horlen.
Joe Horlen.
Bradley, a brilliant 5. Sorry, no drill this
Last half of the 6th inning coming up now at Scottsdale Stadium here under sunny skies. The temperature in the 80s in Scottsdale, Arizona. Joe Horlen is on the mound now for the White Sox. Tom Bradley pitched a brilliant 5 innings. He gave up no runs. He allowed 3 hits, walked 1, struck out 1. And Horlen with 2 spring wins and no losses. He's been in 5 ball games, pitched 22 innings, earned run average of 2.86. Horlen, the new Sox pitcher, throwing in some warm-up tosses. Had a note handed to us earlier saying to mention, I believe it's the Kublers in Cissna Park, Illinois. And the note is from Randy's parents.
The batter number 18, Glenn Becker, second base.
Bottom of the 6th, 3-0. The White Sox lead. They'd like to win this one. Take home 20 spring wins. Ground ball sharply. In time. On the edge of the grass. And too long across the infield. May scooped it out. And Becker is out.
The batter is number 26, Billy Williams, left field.
Having quite a battle for that shortstop job. Richard and Alvarado and Roland Heenan said on the pregame show with Harry. Left-handed probably hasn't made up his mind as to which will be number 1. Where they're playing, they're both number 1. They're going to get equal time. Billy Williams, fly ball. Off the right side, it's going to be out of play, I believe, back in the stands. Williams has played in 24 ball games, hitting .397. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. A ball player. He took the strike ball to the inside corner. Ball 1, strike 2. 1 out, last of the 6th. The White Sox lead the Cubs in this rubber game. 3-0. Ground ball is short. Andrews has an easy toss, easy out, 2 away. That'll bring up third base from Ron Sato.
Batter number 10, Ron Sato, third base.
3 home runs, 16 RBI. Oh, your club leader in that department. Followed by Pepitone with 14 RBIs. Allison has 12. Williams 12. Hal Breeden 11. Hal Breeden. He's a good power hitter. His brother Danny, I guess, was cut from the Cub roster today. He's a catcher. Boy, if that had caught Horlen on either ankle, that would have been broken bones. Instead, the safe way went up.
The next batter, number 30, Kenny Holtzman, center.
By Joe Horlen, and only the fourth Cub hit of the ball game. Now Ken Holtzman. Holtzman batting the number 5 spot. When Pepitone and Holtzman came into the ball game, Pepitone batted in the number 9 spot in the 5th inning, and Holtzman goes in the number 5 spot. Holtzman is not a bad hitting pitcher. Two away, runner at first base. We're in the last of the 6th. Fastball is low. Walt Williams in left field for this ball game. Rick Reichert in center. Rich McKinney in right. Bill Melton, Lee Richards, Mike Andrews, Carlos May around the infield. The catcher is Ed Herman. For Oakland, 3:15 broadcast time on Wednesday afternoon. It started when we tried to check. Hit the bat, went to the backstop. Ball 2, strike 1. Johnny Callison is due up next. Any chance you get, stop at Sox Park, pick up tickets for this coming season. Ground ball, third base, Milton takes the easy toss over to Andrews at second for the force play on Sato to retire the Sox. In the 6th.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base.
1 hit.
The end of 6th inning, Chicago White Sox 3, the Chicago Cubs nothing.
Sox 3, the Cubs nothing.
Well, folks, this year's spring exhibition season is almost over. We sure enjoyed having you out here this spring. We hope to see you next year. Today's paid attendance, 4,158. Thank you very much.
4,158. That's even bigger than yesterday. It doesn't look as big a crowd, does it?
Yeah, they say that he holds about 32 to 35.
I hope they get friendly and move close. Need a break? Yeah, we need a break on that.
Top of the 7th inning now, the White Sox will send up Rich McKinney, followed by Ed Herman. And we will see if Horlen will bat or if we'll have a
The
shot.
first batter, number 26, Rich McKinney, right field.
Kenny Holtzman, number 30 in the back of his uniform, out of the mound from Scottsdale, Arizona. All of our network stations will be looking for identification in just a couple of moments. Here comes the pitch, a swing and a miss. Some big days for the kids at White Sox Park. Swing drive deep left field. Williams coming out. McKinney hit the ball well. He has flied to left field, to center field, or rather to left field and to right field. Now again to left
The
field.
next batter, number 12, Ed Herman, catcher.
T-shirt day is Sunday, May 9th. Batting glove day, Sunday, May 30th. Bat day, Sunday, June 6th. Helmet day, Sunday, July 11th. And the youngsters will receive new White Sox colorful red batting helmets. We talk about color. The White Sox have it in their new uniforms. Outstanding. Top of the 7th inning, 1 away. The batter, Herman. Herman has not had a strong spring with the bat, but Nobody is really worried about that. Swing and a miss, because he certainly is due to come around. 0-2 on the batter. Walked and struck out in this ball game so far. Horlen due to bat next. Lefty Kenny Holston. Comes in with the pitch. Up in the short center field. Center fielder Ortiz has to hurry. He's got it. He had to come a long way. Beckert went out. Kessinger went out. And Ortiz made the play. 2 up and 2 down in the top of the 7th inning. Now Joe Horlen. Now let's pause for station identification.
On the batter number 20, Joe Horlen, pitcher.
Horlen on the first pitch swings and drives a
Batter number 9, Lee Richard, shortstop.
in the center field. It's in there for a base hit. Horlen gets number 1. Off of Kenny Holston. Brings up the top of the batting order now. B.B. Richard. Richard in the first inning tried to bunt. And popped it up to the pitcher. Then he flied. There's a ground ball over the pitcher's head. It is up. Kessinger in the center field. The runner going around second and third. He's now going to get back to second if he can. The runner in the back sliding back in. Sanders throw back to second base. Get Horlen in the back as he went sliding back in. He says he's okay. So B.B. Richard is on with a base hit. And Horlen, rounding second base, got halfway to third base, decided he better go back. 2 hits given up by Ken Holston. Hit number 6 for the Cubs. On the White Sox off of Cubs pitching.
Ralph, we may have our first injury of the season here. Joe Horlen was hit. And apparently hitting the leg, back of the leg as he's getting back into second base. A whole group. Boy, he's in pain out there.
You know, the funny thing is, he got up right away, indicated that he was okay, and then he went back down again.
Charlie Sad, the trainer of the White Sox, is administering to him, but he seems to be in quite a bit of pain. And now, a little activity in the White Sox bullpen. With the season opening Wednesday afternoon, it's a tough time to get hurt.
Right-hander Steve Keeley is throwing down the right side. In the White Sox bullpen. And out on the mound once again to stay limber, Kenny Holston throwing to Ken Rudolph.
That B.B. Richard, how are you going to keep him out of the lineup?
Well, it's almost impossible. And of course, when the coach has the kind of problem that Chuck Tanner has with 2 fine shortstops, he's not going to worry too much. But the big problem is, will he play Richard against certain pitchers, or will he play Alvarado? It's a great problem to have.
I would imagine with opening up with a doubleheader, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Alvarado start the first game at shortstop and B.B. Richards start the second game.
Well, either way, I think that we've got a fine infield. The White Sox, the way we've seen them now in the last couple of weeks, certainly, they're going to start the regular season with a strong ball club. There's no doubt about it. The more we urge people to get their season tickets, we're serious about that. Get out to Sox Park and get those tickets as soon as possible.
Well, there's one of our big 4 in that pitching department, Joe Horlen.
From up here, it looked like he was hitting the back, but he was going into a slide, going back into second base, and I couldn't really tell. Opening day, White Sox Park, Friday the 9th. Of course, it's the Sox against the powerful Minnesota Twins. Still get good tickets.
Oh, man, he's hurt. He's hurt. You know, it could have been that he may have been hitting the back just as he was sliding back, and he may have hurt his leg while sliding.
That's what I but he was up on his feet in a hurry, and then he went down again. Horlen is being carried off on the stretcher. for the White Sox. Let's hope it's not serious. This guy is certainly counted on. Big things this year.
Boy, I bet he's saying to himself now, why didn't I just stop at second base? Where did I think I was going? It would be easy to second-guess yourself. He had rounded second as if to try for third and realized that Ortiz's throw would get him easily, so then came to a sudden stop and retraced, went back to second base when Santos
for Joe
hit him.
Horlen, number 11.
Chuck Brinkman is going to run for Horlen. Brinkman is running for Horlen. We're in the top of the 7th inning. The White Sox lead the ball game 3-0.
Right about now, with Horlen being carried off on a stretcher, I would imagine Vicente Romo has moved in to be a starter rather than a relief pitcher.
All right, we're all set to go. Walt Williams, the batter, swings and hits a fly ball out of play down the right field side. In the stands, foul. Walt Williams. 0-1 the count. Runners at first and second, 2 away here in the top of the 7th. Ken Holtzman, the second Cub pitcher of the ball game. Milt Pappas went 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, 4 hits. He walked 1, struck out 1. Ball 1, strike 1 they count on. Walter Williams, a very, very popular guy in spring training and, of course, in Chicago. Next pitch from Kenny is fouled out of play, back over on his. Williams has been one of the hitting stars for the White Sox this spring, hitting .351 coming into this ball game. He's played in 21 games. And that, I believe this mimeograph sheet says 71 times, 26 base hits. Again, a throw back in. Williams is on second with a double, and the run comes in to score. 2 runs come in to score. Second, 1 run score. So Williams is on second base with a double and a RBI. Run number 4 can score.
That is number 2, Mike Andrews, second base.
Second and third. Davey stopped at third base. He rounded third. He's going to try. The throw came back inside first base. Well, that time he didn't on second. And run has scored. Andrews has been about 3 times without a base hit. Popped out to the second baseman, fly to center, routed to short. Here comes the pitch. Oh, beauty. Curveball is in there for a strike. 1. Melton is due to bat next. Top of the 7th inning. Sharply down the third base line, but it's pulled foul. Of course, the folks on the third base side and the left field side thought until that ball landed, it might have been a fair ball. Mike Andrews. Holtzman set of the mound, looks into his catcher, Kenny Rudolph. Cubs are after win number 20. Of the spring season to wind it up. The Sox are looking for number 20 as of the moment. 4-0 White Sox, top of the 7th. Ball 1, strike 2 on the batter. Mike Andrews. He takes the ball right inside. Even up at 2-2. 2 away. We have runners at second and third. Williams on second. E.D. Richard at third base. Brinkman running for Horlen, score. There's a curve that missed in the outside corner. It's filled up at 3-2. 3:15 is broadcast time for that doubleheader from Oakland. Opening the 1971 season for the White Sox. They'll be at home on Friday for the home opener against the Minnesota Twins.
Ralph, there's a lot of division of opinion as to what happened to Horlen.
It wasn't the throw. I think it's sliding back into the bag that he jammed his ankle or knee.
3-2 pitch. Sharply back to Holton.
One run, 3 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base.
White Sox on 3 hits, no errors.
Two fellows down the left field line will have to get behind the fence, please.
White Sox are out in front over the Cubs by a score of 4-0.
Boy, what a shame.
The new pitcher for the Chicago White Sox, number 23, Steve Healy.
Yeah.
May we have your attention, please? Seems to happen every spring.
What should I say?
There's a purple and white 1971 Cadillac convertible license 2314. They're blocking a driveway, parked too close to a water hydrant. Your windshield wipers are on, your motor's running, your keys are in the ignition, and your doors are locked. Will the lady that owns this car please move it?
Where is that?
Somebody left their car in the parking lot with the motor running, the doors are locked, and the key is in the ignition. And he followed up with this line. He said, the lady who owns that car, please move it.
Batter number 6, Johnny Callison, right field.
He's on the mound for the White Sox. And Jason Horlen, who has only 1 inning of activity in this ball game. And lead off in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Cubs, Johnny Callison. Healy has been in 6 ball games. Deep right center field. Way back, and he's up against the fence. Back to the pitcher, Tom Bradley, and he came out of the batter's box with a big smile on his face, wondering where he had hit that ball.
The batter is number 20, Jose Ortiz, center field.
Bradley had hit it. Hit number 1 given up by Steve Healy, and the 5th was Chicago Cub base hit. Healy with a 2-1 team record. 6 ball games, 15 innings pitched, ERA of 2.08. Healy is a right-hander. Lead-off double for Johnny Callison last after the 7th inning. 4-0. The White Sox looking at win number 20 to wind up the spring training season. As opposed to 9 losses. A fastball strike taken by Jose Ortiz. Ortiz is 0-2, fly to center, grounded to short. Healy, the 3rd White Sox pitcher of the ball game. Looks into his catcher, Ed Herman. Right-handed batting Jose Ortiz starts to swing on the pitch, pulls up, it's low. Ball 1, strike 1. Catcher Kenny Rudolph due up next. Last half of the 7th inning from Scottsdale, Arizona, where the weather is absolutely perfect. Oh, those mountains, Harry, look like they're 3 blocks away, and they're probably 20 miles. Ground ball to the shortstop. Richard waits, picks it up, throws, pulls that runner at second base beautifully. Ortiz is out number 1.
Next batter, number 15, Ken Rudolph, catcher.
Harry mentioned the more we see Didi Richard at short, the more we like what we see. And of course, we've been saying that about all the White Sox players this spring, and that's exactly how we feel. It's an exciting ball club. Ken Rudolph. Pappas is due to follow Rudolph. Allen scored a position on second base. Takes a good lead. Here comes the pitch and a swing and a foul off the right side out of play. Rudolph doubled in the second. Thrown out by Richard in the 5th inning. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. From the Scottsdale Stadium, where it's a jam-packed house of 4,158. Place holds 35, so you can imagine how many people are squeezed in today. They don't mind it a bit. About a third of these people are either Chicagoans out here on a vacation or Chicagoans previously and now living here in this beautiful area. Lead off the batter. Here comes the pitch.
Sensational play. Whoa! Boy, Ralph, what a play. Ed Herman made one of the greatest plays I've ever seen a catcher make. Walt Williams charging that base hit, took it on one bounce, and then fired all the way to home plate on the fly, and the throw was high. Ed Herman had to leap high into the air and caught the ball with one hand, just with his glove. And all in the same motion, on coming down, he flapped that glove onto the sliding spikes of Johnny Callison for the out. Boy, what a play.
Another example of what we're going to see this year at Sox Park. Williams came in on that ball. It bounced in front of him. Yeah, he grabbed it, and his throw was just a little high to Herman, but from out of distance, of course, it turned out to be a spectacular play. Herman went up in the air, as Larry said, held onto it, and as he came down, Callison had to slide on the infield side of home plate, and Herman came down, made the tag, and the umpire plate said he was out. Pappas on the batter. 0-1 the count. Rudolph on second base. 2 hits here in the inning, and there are 2 away.
Joe Horlen! Rolling! Hey, Rolling!
1 the count on the batter. Rudolph on second base. 2 hits here in the inning, and there are 2 away.
Joe Horlen! Rolling! Hey, Rolling!
1 the count on the batter. Steve Keeley on the mound, the third start pitcher of the ballgame. Bradley started, went 5 brilliant innings. He has now pitched 33 innings in the side.
Batter for the Cubs, number 11, John Kessinger, shortstop.
The 7th score hit of the game. That brings Hayes to the top of the batting order, John Kessinger. Well, the Cubs fans here in Scottsdale, of course, with their home of the Chicago Cubs, they want to see the Cubs get something started to wind up their spring training season with a victory. And at this particular moment, the White Sox have something to say about that. They lead 4-1. First pitch to Kessinger, fastball slow.
Ralph, I just saw Roland Heeman come over to talk to John Holland, the general manager of the Cubs. Now, the Cubs are going home right after the game of Chicago, and I would imagine that maybe he was discussing with John the possibilities of Horlen accompanying the Cubs and flying right into Chicago tonight to get medical attention there.
Well, we said it before, we'll say it again. Let's hope. Let's pray that he's not anything serious. Kessinger, the batter. Runner at first base, 1 run in. Last of the 7th. The Cubs at bat. The Sox lead 4-1. Steve Keeley on the mound. The pitch. Swung out. Fly ball left field. Williams goes to his left a couple of steps. Pounds the glove. He's got it. To retire the Sox. Well, in the last half of the 7th inning for the Cubs. 1 run.
The end of 7 innings, the Chicago White Sox 4, Cubs 1.
Here at Scottsdale, the Sox lead the Cubs by a score of 4-1.
See if you can find out. Just wait for it. Just see Unferth. I imagine he'll come over and tell us on the injuries. Yeah.
That's probably sad down there.
Where is it? Look at this road. That's the little thing. Oh, she went down the wrong way. Boy, that's a shame. Boy, they really need him, too. Okay, what do you think?
batter, number 14, Bill Melton, third base.
We're going to the top of the 8th inning. The White Sox are out in front, 4-1. Bill Melton will lead it off. He's had a double and a homer and bounced out. 2 out of 3. He had 3 hits yesterday. He's had himself quite a spring. Kenny Holtzman, veteran left-hander of the Chicago Cubs, a youthful veteran, by the way. Here's the pitch. First pitch in there, a good curveball. A strike is called. 1 strike and no ball. Boy, the first bad thing that's happened all spring long just occurred a few minutes ago. Here's the pitch. Curveball outside. Don, what is it here?
Harry, Joe suffered damage to his left knee, and it may be a cartilage injury. We're taking him over to the hospital here for x-rays, and if the x-rays show anything serious, he's going to go back tonight on the plane to Chicago. And so it looks like he won't be going with us to Oakland. The Cub doctor, Dr. Zucker, looked at him and is going over to the hospital with him, and we're going to take x-rays there. The doctor feels they'll be negative, but he wants to make sure.
Well, he's had a background of a cartilage injury last year, didn't he?
Yes, but that was in the other knee. This is in the left knee. He had a knee operation last August on his right knee, but this is the other knee, and he twisted it when he slid back into second base.
I see. Thank you very much, Don. Don Unford giving us a report on the Joe Horlen thing. Meanwhile, Bill Melton has had his 3rd hit of the day, a single to left. Carlos May fouls off the first pitch. 1 strike and no balls. So Joe Horlen, sliding back into the bag, and the injury did not come from being hit by the throw. It came in sliding back into the bag. He twisted his left knee. Here's the pitch to Carlos May. Curveball low. He will not be with the White Sox, as Don Unford just told us, in Oakland at all. And my surmise about Roland Heeman talking to John Howland, that's apparently what it was all about. Here's a pitch swung on, high fly ball, short center field. Ortiz coming in. His cap falls off, but he makes the catch. Carlos May flies to Ortiz. Joe Horlen was out much of last year, you know, with a knee injury. He had to undergo surgery on his right knee on August the 4th for removal of torn cartilage. He made a remarkably speedy recovery and was back in action on September the 7th, just about a month later. So we'll have to wait and see how badly his other knee has been hurt today. Here's Reichert, the curveball low. 1 ball and no strikes. Rick has had a double, 1 out of 3. Ball game in the top of the 8th, 4-1 in favor of the Cubs, favor of the White Sox. Here's Holtzman, the Cubs firing. Swung at a fastball and he missed it. That evens it up at a ball and a strike. The White Sox scored 2 in the 2nd on a double by Melton, a triple by May, and a double by Reichert. Got another one in the 3rd on a home run by Melton. Picked up 1 in the 4th with 2 out on a single by Horlen. And then back-to-back singles by B.B. Richard and Walt Williams. Now Melton is open again with a base hit, 1 out. Rick Reichert, the batter, 2 balls and a strike. Here's the stretch by Holtzman. The pitch on the way. Swung on. Drive into the right field corner. If it stays fair, it'll be trouble. It is. Foul ball by about 1.5 feet. Reichert going to the opposite field. Fouls it off. That evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 4,158 paid here today. They only seat around 3,200. Rick Reichert returning to the plate. All set to go now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first base, 1 out. 4-1 in favor of the White Sox. Holtzman is ready. Now the pitch. Here it is. Curveball. He struck him out swinging. Holtzman really snapped one off. That's 2 away. Rich McKinney, the right fielder, comes up. Right-hand batter waiting. Rich McKinney. He's nothing out of 3 today. Slide out every time. The pitch. Curvin, a beauty, a strike call. Holtzman very sharp. Milt Pappas allowed 3 of the runs. Holtzman the other one. Holtzman relieved in the 5th inning. So this is his 4th inning of work. The pitch. Bounces in front of the plate. A good stop by Rudolph. And the count evens up. A ball and a strike. 2 men are out. 8th inning. Overflow crowd on hand. Now the pitch, here it is. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Kessinger backing out onto the grass, shading his eyes, makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left. We move now to the bottom of the 8th. White Sox 4, Cubs 1.
Boy, that's a shame. Yeah. They need him, too. There's the one I was talking about, the Bucks and Blondes, just go in.
Boy, I'm not too high on this Keeley. I'm not too high on this Keeley. Let's pause for identification. This is the Chicago White Sox Baseball Network. Harry Carey back at Scottsdale Stadium as we go into the bottom half of the 8th inning. Steve Keeley came on when Joe Horlen was hurt and was really hit hard in the 7th inning. And it took a sensational play by catcher Ed Herman, cutting a runner off at the plate to keep the Cubs from really having a good inning. As it is, the score now 4-1 in favor of the White Sox. Here's Glenn Beckert. He's 1 out of 3 so far. Right-handed hitter. Steve Keeley, who used to be with the Angels. Bespectacled right-hander delivers. Curveball in there, a beauty of strike call. 1 strike to no ball. Nobody on, nobody out. Joe Horlen was injured, sliding back into second base. He's being taken to a hospital for x-ray. Now the line, the delivery, here it is. Half ball a little bit low. Funny thing, Horlen got up, and then his knee must have collapsed. Caved in under him, and he fell to the ground. Now the signal given. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Beckert swings, and there's a fly ball, short right field. Should be caught. McKinney coming in. Down with the sunglasses, makes the catch. Beckert flies to McKinney. 1 out. Here is Billy Williams. Walked into first, and he lined out in the center in the 3rd, rolled out to second in the 6th. 1 out, nobody on. Ball game in the 8th. Billy Williams digging in. Steve Keeley. Here's Roland Heeman, who should be able to give us an up-to-date report on Joe Horlen.
Well, Joe jammed his knee sliding back into second base and had some soreness inside the knee, had difficulty maneuvering the knee as well as he would like, naturally. Dr. Suker, the Cubs physician, fortunately was here in the ballpark, gave Joe some attention and recommended that we fly him back to Chicago. So through the courtesy of John Horlen and Chicago Cubs, Horlen will fly back to Chicago this afternoon on their flight, and then our club physician, Dr. Jerome Loftus, will examine him and hospitalize him immediately.
What is the first surmise about the injury? Is it anything, very serious?
We hope it isn't. It's difficult to ascertain immediately.
It's just a home run foul ball off the bat of Billy Williams, so don't get excited.
Dr. Suker simply mentioned that he felt that tomorrow, naturally, there would be great soreness, and it was severe enough that he felt that he should get the immediate attention and recommended he fly back to Chicago. So we hope that it's not as serious as we might have feared initially. It is not the knee that Joe underwent surgery for last year, so this may be a plus in that regard, because if the knee which he had suffered the operation last year had been re-injured, then I think we'd have more fear.
Right. Roland, thanks so much for coming up.
Fine, Harry. Thank you.
Roland Heeman, Director of Player Personnel for the White Sox, giving us the up-to-minute report on the condition Joe Horlen. Here's Billy Williams up there now, swings and he fouls the pitch back. Funny thing, I just guessed at things. When I saw Roland go over to talk to John Howland, I just guessed that might be what he was talking to him about. And, of course, as we had mentioned, the Cubs fly home right after the game, so this will be advantageous. Joe will be back home in Chicago to get proper care. Here's the wind-up and the pitch. Billy Williams fouls it back to the screen. Well, this spring training was just absolutely too perfect not to have something happen.
Everything has gone too smoothly, and we're sorry to say that it had to be stopped. That's particular situation with an accident like this.
Billy Williams waiting, 2 strikes and a ball. Steve Keeley into the windup. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball. He aimed for that outside corner and missed with it. And the count is evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th. The White Sox hoping to win the city championship in this rubber game. They won the first game 9-2, lost yesterday 9-4, and are leading all the way today. The score being 4-1 at the moment. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Billy Williams digging in. Here's the pitch by Keeley. Smash foul out down the right field corner. Boy, this Williams, even his foul ball, or his hard, he just pops that ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Billy Williams digging in. Now to sign. Keeley getting ready. Here's the pitch. Ball 4 is high. So Billy Williams draws the base on ball. Santos had a great spring.
Harry, that's only the second walk that this young man has given up all spring.
He has good control. He's around the plate all the time. In fact, the entire White Sox pitching staff has been able to avoid that old plague, base on ball. Here's Santo, 1 out, 1 on. The stretch. From the belt, the pitch, here it is. It's a little bit inside, ball 1. Kenny Holtzman, the pitcher, will be up there next. They got a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. The left-hander starts to limber up. He's going to warm up, too. 1 on, 1 out. Right-hand batter waiting. Here's Keeley getting set. The pitch on the way to Santo. Curveball is high. Keeley is struggling out there. A runner at first base went away. Bottom of the 8th. The Cubs trying to come from behind. Now the signal given. Hal Breeden is going to be a pinch hitter. Now to stretch. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, popped up. In foul territory. Who's going to get it? Bill Melton calling for the ball. Juggles the ball but catches it before it hits the ground. Bill Melton fumbled that ball, but he was catching it up by his head. And thus, when it popped out of his glove, he had time to grab it again. So, Santo fouls to Milt. 2 out, and here is Hal Breeden, who hit a 3-run homer yesterday. He's batting for Holtzman. Breeden hit 37 home runs in Richmond last year. And apparently, he has made the Cubs ball club as a pinch hitter. Hal Breeden. Breeden getting ready. Keeley trying to pitch out of trouble. Breeden, 27 years old, from Albany, Georgia. Here's the pitch. There's a line smash, fair into the corner. Extra bases, got a chance to score a run. Here's the way a fan touches the ball. Hey, they're going to have to stop him. The run's going to score, but let's see what they're going to give him. A fan reached over the railing to touch the ball. Billy Williams is allowed to score. Chuck Tanner comes out to talk to the umpire. In the judgment of the umpire, Walker, Billy Williams would have scored from first base. And so Chuck Tanner is arguing with the plate umpire that if it's a ground rule double, Billy Williams should be stopped at third base. Larry Barnett is the plate umpire, and he is saying, I think, that in his opinion, Williams would have scored and that he shouldn't be deprived of the run. And Chuck Tanner is bringing up a point of order. If it is a ground rule double because of the fan touching the ball, why shouldn't Williams be forced to stop at third base? So Breeden again comes in with a very significant pinch hit. And now the Cubs trail only by 1. It's 4-2. Keeley is not at all sharp. Here's a stretch. The pitch to Callison. Here it is. Swung on, a high fly ball. Right field. McKinney coming in. And in foul territory, nobody can reach the ball. And Mr. Keeley can feel very lucky that ball wasn't hit out of the ballpark. He threw Callison a hanging lollipop curveball. Callison just happened to pop the ball up in foul territory. It might have been caught by either Andrews or McKinney, but neither one did reach the ball. Wilbur Wood starting to warm up. Keeley was lucky to get out of the seventh with only one run, and he's already permitted one in the eighth. And he doesn't seem to have too much out there at the moment. He needs this out badly here. Johnny Callison, who's had 2 out of 3 so far. Here's the pitch. Swings and he misses a fastball. He's in the hole, 2 strikes and nothing. Callison, the only time he was retired was on a line drive right back to the pitcher. 4-2 in favor of the White Sox. Now the signal. Keeley getting ready. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside. 2 strikes on the ball. Keeley is primarily a fastball pitcher. See, who's that warming up down there? Left-hander for the Cubs. Wilbur Wood, I guess. Yeah, Wood. 2 strikes on the ball. There's B.B. Richard cutting behind the runner to pitch. High curveball inside. The count even. Johnny Callison at the plate. Runner at second base. 2 men are out. Breeden pinch hit a 3-run homer yesterday, and today he's doubled in a run. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. There's a smash. Carlos May, a beautiful stop, races to the bag and wins to retire the side. Holy cow, what a play. Johnny Callison really hit a bullet down the first base line. Carlos May was playing him to full. He took a dive for the ball at the foul line, came up with it. Then he was lying on all 4. He had to scramble into position. The ball was hit so hard that the pitcher, Keeley, never had a chance to cover. So Carlos May had nobody to toss the ball to. He had to engage in a foot race with Johnny Callison, and he won it by a stride. Beautiful play by May. So the totals on the inning: 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And at the end of 8, very interesting innings to score. The Chicago White Sox 4, the Chicago Cubs 2.
Hey, Charlie, just gave your place a plug. Hey.
Now pitching for the Cubs, number 48, Jim Colford.
Last night with a little broad and
you should have said, I've seen. Somebody said you was in there and you said, no,
I went over to Shay and Louie. I thought that how you guys open tonight?
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll see you tonight.
Get a table now, huh?
Big pony.
Does Dave own the one?
Huh?
Does Dave own the big one? Dave.
Charlie. No, his name's Charlie. Well, the amenities of the season. Chuck Tanner comes over, talks with Leo DeRocher, and they chat for a little bit. Then pat each other on the back, shake hands. You can almost mind read what they're saying. Have a good year. I know the White Sox, to a man, hope that the Cubs will win the National League pennant, and I'm sure that the Cubs wish the White Sox nothing but the very best. It is a utopian thought, but nevertheless, maybe not an impossible dream, that perhaps someday these 2 clubs will engage in an all-Chicago World Series. Here is first man up there, Ed Herman. First pitch he drills in the right center field for a base hit. Herman gets his first hit of the day as he lines a single in the right center. We have a new pitcher in there for the Chicago Cubs. Jim Colburn. Colburn, a right-hander. And his very first pitch, Ed Herman, wrapped in the right center for a base hit. Here's Keeley now. Runner at first, nobody out. Holtzman pitched 4 innings. He allowed only 1 run. Permitted 4 hits. Jim Colburn, a right-hander from Santa Paula, California. 24 years old. He throws over to first base to Pepitone. But Herman is on the bag. Colburn last year for the Cubs won 3, lost 1. Here's the pitch. Bunted foul back and out of play. Into the stands, a souvenir for somebody. Colburn graduated from Whittier, California College and is now working on his master's degree in sociology at the University of Washington. So he's a brain. Leo DeRocher will trade all that gray matter for just a good pitching arm. So here's Keeley trying to advance the runner. 4-2 in favor of the White Sox. Go to first, runner back. Rick Talley of the Chicago Today will be the post-game guest with Ralph. Immediately following, so I hope you'll stay tuned. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike is called. 2 strikes and nothing. So Keeley is in the hole. Trying to advance Ed Herman. B.B. Richard will be up there next. Richard has played a sparkling game at shortstop. He's had 1 out of 3 at the plate. Contributed a stolen base. Not much more than anybody can do than this youngster. And likewise, Louis Alvarado, his rival for the position. Pitch to Keeley. He bunts beautifully placed. The only play first base, and in time. Becker took the throw from Ken Rudolph. So a perfect sacrifice by Steve Keeley. And with 1 out, here's B.B. Richard. Richard, 1 out of 3 today.
Batter number 9, Lee Richard, shortstop.
So Richard and Walt Williams will have a shot at driving in another run. White Sox out in front, 4-2. We're in the top of the 9th. The Chicago Bulls evened up the basketball playoffs, and now it'll all be decided Thursday night in Los Angeles. Here's the pitch. Swung and foul back and out of play. The Lakers will have the home court advantage. The playoffs tied 3-3 and will be decided at the Forum, Jack Kent Cook's Palace, next Thursday night. Here's the stretch. The pitch. Low. Well, we'll be home. It's an off date next Thursday night in Chicago. Sit at the Ambassador East Hotel and watch the game. And pull for the Bulls to upset the Lakers. Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. Into the dirt. Rudolph pounces on the ball. Lovely afternoon, an overflow crowd of 4,158 as these 2 teams end spring training. The White Sox are shooting for their 20th victory of the spring campaign. They've lost only 9 times. But they suffered a very telling injury today when Joe Horlen was hurt. 2 balls and a strike. The glance at second base. The pitch to Richard. Ground ball to the shortstop. Herman trying for third. Kessinger's play. Hey, close, but he's out. So Kessinger throws out B.B. Richard. Ed Herman plays for third on the play, and I thought maybe Kessinger might take a shot at him. But he took the sure play. 2 out. Here's Walt Williams, who drove in a run in the 7th. Walt Williams has won the regular job in the outfield, at least to start the season. When Chuck Tanner took over during the winter, Walt Williams didn't even figure, in Chuck's opinion, on even making the team. But it was insight to Tanner that He feels this guy, through his performance this spring, must be rewarded. And therefore, he has given him the starting job. Here's the pitch to Walt. Swung on, a high fly ball right field. Here's Callison coming in under the ball. He's got room. Makes the catch to retire this out. Don't no runs, one hit, no errors, one left. We go into the bottom of the ninth with a score, White Sox 4, Cubs 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time the Scottsdale Charros would like to thank you very much for patronizing our ball games this spring, making it another successful spring. The second year in a row that Scottsdale has led the Cactus League in attendance. Thank you very much. We'd also like for you to join us, we're sure you do, in wishing the Chicago Cubs the best of luck when they leave here today and go in search of the National League pennant.
Take it easy, Charlie. We're going to the bottom of the ninth inning, and Jose Ortiz will lead it off against Steve Keeley. The White Sox holding a 4-2 lead in this rubber game of the 3-game series for the mythical baseball championship of the city of Chicago.
The first batter at the bottom of the ninth inning.
Ortiz is nothing out of 3 today.
Jose Ortiz, center field.
It's the first time in the last 4 days that he hasn't had 3 hits. It'll be Ortiz, Rudolph, and Pappas in this inning. Nobody on, nobody out. Ortiz leading it off. Steve Keeley gets set. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's high. 1 ball, no strike. 2 left-handers are in the bullpen for the White Sox. Wilbur Wood is one of them. Looks like Forster's the other one. 1 ball, no strike. Ortiz digging in, waves that bat around. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle, a good fastball, a strike call. That evens it up at a ball and a strike. Nobody on, nobody out. White Sox leading 4-2, bottom of the ninth. The Chicago Cubs leave after the game to go home to Chicago, where they open up against the Cardinals Tuesday afternoon. Here's the pitch. Swung on, bouncing ball, Milt to his right in foul territory, or is it fair? The throw, he would have been out, but it's a foul ball. So Ortiz will return to the bat. The White Sox stay right here in Scottsdale for a couple more days of practice because they don't open the season until Wednesday afternoon, and then with a doubleheader in Oakland. Our broadcast time over all these stations will be 3:15 Chicago time, Wednesday afternoon. Sincerely hope you'll be with us. And then the home opener, Friday afternoon, April the 9th, at White Sox Park against the division champion Minnesota Twins, Harmon Killebrew, Tony Oliva, and company. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fly ball, left center field. It may drop, may drop, may drop, may drop, may drop. It does, base hit. Walt Williams made a long run for that ball, but couldn't get to it. So the Cubs are alive in the bottom of the ninth. And here is Rudolph.
The next batter, number 15, Ken Rudolph.
That was a blue pin. Walt Williams gave it quite a try. Made a one-handed pickup of the ball. And now here is Rudolph. Right-handed hitter. Big guy. Here's Keeley getting ready. And the pitch. Here it is. Everything he's throwing is high. High curveball. 1 ball, no strike. He wants to get the ball down. He'd like to get Rudolph to hit him with double play. Rudolph is not fast. Now to stretch. Here's the pitch on the way. High curve again. Can't get the ball down. And he's in a hole. And the activity in the bullpen becomes more energetic. Now the signal given. 2 balls, no strikes. Rudolph waits. Steve Keeley delivers. Here it is. Right down the middle, a good fastball. And Rudolph was taking 2 balls and a strike. 4-2 in favor of the White Sox. We're in the 9th. The Cubs trying to pull it out of the fire. Now Keeley gets ready. And the pitch. Here it is. He swings and misses. And the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rudolph had a good pitch to hit. A letter-high fastball. And he swung right through it. Peanuts Lowry coaching at third base for the Cubs. Joey Amalfitano at first base. Bright sunshine, a red-hot sun, temperature in the mid-80s. Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. Ground ball might be double play. Milt. Hey, right through him there. Here's a runner racing at third. And there goes Rudolph to second. The tying runs are on with nobody out. That ball was hit medium speed. It just never came up for Milt, who was trying to rush the play to get the double play, knowing that Rudolph is very slow. That's going to be off for Keeley. And Wilbur Wood, I believe, is going to be brought in here to pitch to Joe Pepitone. And the Cubs now have a great chance to pull this one out of the fire. The tying runs are at second and third with nobody out. A bloop single off the bat of Ortiz. And a slow dribbler off the bat of Rudolph, which went through Melton. Runners at second and third, nobody out. And Wilbur Wood comes in to relieve.
Now coming into pitch for the White Sox, number 28, Wilbur Wood.
Keeley, this was not one of his good outings. He pitched 2 innings. He was in trouble in every inning. Everything he threw was up high. He allowed 5 hits while he was in there. He allowed the first 2 runs they made. He had a shutout going when he came into the contest. But the Cubs took a very, very fond liking to his pitching. So he permitted 5 hits. The responsibility for these 2 runs belongs to him. There is no way he could be the losing pitcher, because the very worst that he could be charged with would be 4 runs, which is the total the White Sox had. So Pepitone will be the batter against the knuckleballer Wilbur Wood. Now here is a game situation. Pepitone singled in a run in the 7th.
Batter is number 8, Joe Pepitone.
The infield is playing back. The outfield is deep as Pepitone steps into the batter's box. 4-2 in favor of the White Sox. But the Cubs have a great chance here to turn it around. The pitch. Swung and a little pop fly on the infield. Wilbur Wood calls for the ball, and they almost dropped it, made the catch. Pepitone on the first pitch popped to Wilbur Wood, and it wasn't hit high enough for one of the other infielders to call for it.
Number 11, Don Kessinger, shortstop.
Don on first.
Harry, I was just over the hospital with Joe Horlen, and they x-rayed his left knee. The x-rays showed that nothing was broken. We'll have to wait until the swelling goes down and find out whether the cartilage is torn in his knee or not, and we won't know that for a few days. He's going back on the plane with the...
Towards Glenn Becker, who grabbed it barehanded and flipped it right back. Pepitone on the first pitch is popped out. Can Wilbur Wood get out of this jam? Becker will be next. Kessinger hitting right-handed now. Here's the stretch by Wilbur Wood, the pitch. Knuckleball into the dirt. A nice play in there by Ed Herman. Herman behind the plate. Boy, he made some play in the 7th inning on a throw from the outfield. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kessinger waiting. The delivery by Wilbur Wood. Swings and he fouls it back. 2 strikes and a ball. Kessinger was trying to poke that knuckleball into right field. Wilbur Wood. He wants that strikeout here. Boy, what an inspirational job it would be if he could pitch his way out of this jam. Be a good way to end spring training, with your ace relief pitcher doing what he gets paid for, putting out fires. But he's got 2 tough cookies to get. Kessinger is up there now. Glenn Beckert will be next. 2 strikes and a ball. Here's the pitch on the way. There's a smash. Left field. The game's going to be tied. 1 run is in. Here's another one to throw to the plate. It is too late. And on the throw, the lead run goes to second. Kessinger lined a single beyond Melton and B.B. Richard. Walt Williams made an ill-advised throw to the plate, but I think he was throwing hoping it would be cut off. It came all the way into the plate and was closer than you would think. Now here's Becker. And the Cubs are within a base hit of winning the city series. It's all tied up. 4-4. 1 out. Billy Williams will be next. Kessinger delivering a timely hit that drove in the 2-tying run. Here's the stretch now, the pitch. Swings at a knuckleball and he misses. 1 strike, no ball. The pitch to Kessinger was a knuckleball to lay flat and high. And Kessinger drilled it between Richard and Melton. Here's the pitch on the way. There's a little top fly, short center, and base hit. The runner on third holding up. The throw comes to the plate. Kessinger, fearing the ball might be caught, held up. And it's runners at first and third, and here's Billy Williams.
Now coming to bat, number 26, Billy Williams.
So Billy Williams could be the hero here. Let's see what they can do. They got Sano coming up next. Runners at first and third. Wilbur Wood got Pepitone to pop up and got out in front of Kessinger. 2 strikes and a ball. But then Kessinger tied it up with a base hit to left. Now Beckert has blooped one into short center. The infield has to come in for the play at the plate. They're bringing the outfield in, too, because a long fly ends the game anyhow. So they bring everybody in, bring them all in. Have to be close enough to have a chance on a fly ball to throw a man out at the plate. The White Sox led this one all the way. And here's the stretch. Infield in. The pitch on the way. A little bit low, ball 1. Santo will be next. 1 ball, no strike. The injury to Horlen seemed to like pulling a cork out of the bottle. Here's the pitch on the way. Knuckleball inside, ball 2. This now is Wilbur Wood's ball game. He would be the pitcher of record. Now to stretch. The pitch on the way to Billy Williams. Ball 3 is low, and Ron Santo is next. 3 balls, no strikes. And Tanner motions to Wood to throw a knuckleball with 3-0. Here's the pitch on the way. Knuckleball swung, foul back and out of play. So he knew Williams would be swinging at that 3-0 pitch. And he wasn't going to give him any fat fastball. 3 balls and a strike. Wilbur Wood trying to get out of this jam. The game now is tied, and the Cubs have a chance to win it with a runner at third and 1 out. Another runner at first base. The infield in, the outfield in. Here's the stretch. Here's the pitch on the way. Ball 4, the bases are loaded.
The next batter, number 10, Ron Santo.
Ron Santo, the batter, and they have to keep everybody in again. B.B. Richard is playing more halfway. Andrews is a little bit more halfway rather than in on the grass. If Santo hits the ball hard, they can still go for the double play around short and second. The pitch. Swings at a knuckleball and he misses. 1 strike, no ball. Wilbur Wood. The Cubs have the bases loaded, only 1 out. They could win it with a fly ball. 4-4 tie. Here's the stretch. The pitch on the way. Into the dirt. Great stop by Ed Herman, a one-handed pickup. Boy, that'd be... You don't want to end it that way with a wild pitch. The Cubs were trailing 4-0, then 4-1, then 4-2, now tied 4-4. 1 ball, 1 strike. Santo digging in. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Infield fly rule. Andrews under the ball makes the catch. Santo pops to Andrews. And now let's see who's going to hit it. Paul Pappas.
Number 22, Paul Pappas.
Paul Pappas will be the hitter. Let's pause quickly. This is the White Sox Baseball Network. Harry Carey and Ralph Foucher. In Scottsdale, where the Cubs have tied it up, have the bases loaded, 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th. The pitch. Popovich swings at a knuckleball and misses. Utility infielder, the Cubs, right-handed batter, actually a switch hitter. From Morgantown, West Virginia, 31 years old. Paul Popovich hitting right-handed. The infield back in normal position. The pitch. Knuckleball low. And that evens it up for the ball and a strike. Wilbur allowed a RBI single to Kessinger. But if he could get out of this with the score tied, he still would have done a great job. 1-1 pitch. Here it is. High pop foul. Over near the stand. Milton coming over. No play. I don't believe he saw the ball. Because it actually landed on the playing side of the fence. That's that high sky, and it's tough to see the ball come off the bat. 2 strikes in the ball. I don't know whether he had a chance. I doubt if he could have reached it anyhow. Now the right-hand hitter waiting. 2 strikes in the ball. Wilbur Wood trying to pitch out of trouble. Here it is. He struck him out. And that retires the side. And the Cubs, where a fly ball would have won it, couldn't get it. Santo popped up. Popovich struck out. However, they did tie it. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 3 left. At the end of 9, it's all tied up. The White Sox 4, the Cubs 4.
2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 3 men left on base. The end of 9 innings, the Chicago Cubs 4, Chicago White Sox 4.
That Keeley couldn't get me out, I don't think.
First extra inning game we've had.
Damn, he was ahead of that.
Now pitching for the Cubs, number 52, Bill Bottom.
We're going to the 10th inning, and Bill Bonham from UCLA, a big, strong, hard-throwing right-hander, will be the Cubs' 4th pitcher. Milt Pappas started, went 4 innings, allowed 4 hits and 3 runs. Ken Holtzman pitched the next 4, allowed 4 hits and 1 run. Jim Colburn worked 1 inning, allowed 1 hit and no run. And now Bill Bonham, who's not even on the roster, comes out. He pitched at Huron last year, where he won 3, lost 3. He's 6'4", 210 pounds. Right-hander. Bonham will be the new pitcher. Mike Andrews leads it off against him. The score tied 4-4. The White Sox had a 4-0 lead going into the 7th. But the Cubs took to Steve Keeley like they had been waiting for him for a month. Here's the pitch to Andrews. Swings at a curveball and he misses. 1 strike to no ball. Nobody on, nobody out. Ball game in the top of the 10th. Now the pitch by the young right-hander. Swung and popped up on the infield. That'll be easy. Santo under the ball. Makes the catch. Andrews fouls to Santo. Here now is Milt. He's 3 out of 4 today.
The next batter, number 14, Bill Melton, third base.
He's accounted for 3 runs himself. committed a costly error in the ninth inning as the Cubs came on to tie it up. Here's the pitch. Strike in there, sidearm curve at the knees. One strike and no balls. One man out. Game tied 4-4 in the 10th. Here's Bonham delivering. Sidearm curve outside. Boy, this is a good-looking young pitcher, this Bonham. Only 1 year of professional baseball experience. But he's around that plate. He's tall, rangy, and can pump that ball. One ball, one strike. The delivery now. Curveball outside. 2 balls and a strike. One gone. A little added treat here on this final day of spring training, an extra inning game. A little extracurricular activity. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch now. Outside, ball 3. Carlos May will be next. The White Sox trying to go out in front again. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now the pitch on the way. Strike. He curved him with 3-1 and got it in there. And that's something we've noticed all spring long. These young pitchers no longer try to throw the fastball by you when they're behind. They go to a breaking ball and get it over. 3-2 pitch to Milt. Bouncing ball to the second baseman. Bad hop. Hits Beckert on the side of the head. Goes in the right center. Here's Melton playing for a double to throw. He goes in standing up. Now let's see if Beckert is hurt. Melton hit a ground ball to Beckert that took a bad hop off the side of his head and rolled into right center for a double. Beckert has got his cap off, feeling to see if he's got a bump on his head.
Batter number 17, Carlos May.
Here's Carlos May, tripled in a run in the second inning. Melton has had 2 doubles, a homer, and a single. He had 2 doubles and a single yesterday. I would imagine Melton is a guy that they're going to walk Carlos May intentionally to get to Rick Reichert. Reichert, a right-handed batter. They're hoping that they can get the double play out of him. I would imagine, I started to say, that when the season starts in late innings and close ball games, if the White Sox are ahead, they will substitute somebody like Morales for defensive purposes around third base. Because although Melton does a fine job, he isn't quite as good a fielder as he is a hitter, and you got to have him in your lineup because he can really wrap that ball.
Center field.
Rick Reichert up there. Runners at first and second. He doubled in a run in the second inning. He's 1 out of 4. Game tied 4-4. Here's Bill Bonham getting set. The pitch to Reichert. Here it is. Sidearm curve in there, a beauty, a strike call. 1 strike, no ball. Reichert takes a look at Joe Lynette, coaching at third. Infield, straight away, hoping for the ground ball. Reichert digging in, waves that bat around. And now the pitch. Here it is. He didn't mean to swing a little hopper to the pitcher who'll throw him out at first. Reichert tried to stop his swing and tap one right back to the mound. The runners advance. And it's all up to Rich McKinney. Now we're going to have a pinch hitter, Lee May. With runners at second and third, let's see how the Cubs counter here. They could walk May intentionally, but then Ed Herman, the tough left-handed batter, is next.
Lee May.
Lee May, who is hitting .529 with 9 out of 17. 1 double, 1 triple, 1 homer, 4 RBI. Comes up as a pinch hitter with a chance to put the White Sox out in front. Bill Bonham, young right-hander. Looks down, has his sign. The pitch to Lee May. Swings and he foul tips it, strike 1. 1 strike and no balls. Ed Herman next. So they're pitching to May, even though first base is open. They'd rather pitch to May than to Herman, apparently. The outfield straight away and deep. Lee May digs in. Here's the windup by Bonham. The pitch to the left-hand batter. Low curveball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Melton, the runner at third. Carlos May at second. 2 men are gone. Tied up 4-4. We're in the 10th. Now Bill Bonham ready. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the first baseman, should be out of the inning. Pepitone has it, steps on the bag, and the inning is over. May grounded to Pepitone, and it's no run. One hit, 4 errors, 2 left. We're going to the bottom of the 10th, tied 4-4.
Yeah, we could have been at the pool.
Now playing right field, moving over from left, is number 3, Walt Williams. Going to left field is number 48, Rick Reichert. He was playing in center.
That's Stroud.
The new center fielder, number 6, Ed Stroud.
Speaking of pitchers, this guy worries me too.
Yeah.
We're going to the bottom of the 10th. Ed Stroud comes into the ballgame now for the White Sox to play center field. Rick Reichert moves from center field to left. Walt Williams moves from left field to right field. And leading off here for the Cubs will be Johnny Callison against the knuckleballing left-hander Wilbur Wood.
The first batter,
Don Kessinger kept the Cubs in the ball game with a
right field.
2-run single in the bottom of the 9th that tied it up. So here's Callison. It'll be Callison, Ortiz, and Rudolph. Here in the 10th. Tied up 4-4. Playing for the baseball championship of Chicago, you might say. Here's the pitch. Knuckleball in there. A strike is called. 1 strike, no ball. Johnny Callison. He's 2 out of 4 today. Wilbur Wood gets set. Now the left-hander delivers. The pitch on the way. Knuckleball low and outside. That evens in a ball and a strike. Hope you'll stay with us for the post-game show, which will feature Rick Talley, sports editor of the Chicago Today. Here's a pitch. Little tap right back to Wilbur. He's got it. Should be an easy out. Flips to first. 1 gone. Callison tap back to Wilbur Wood. That will bring up Jose Ortiz, who started the 9th inning with a little bloop single that dropped in short center. An error by Milton followed, which really set it up. And then after Wilbur Wood had gotten Pepitone, Kessinger, behind in the count, 2 strikes and a ball, singled to left to tie it up. Wood then had to get out of a jam. He allowed a single to Beckert and a base on balls to Williams to fill him up. But he got Santo and then Popovich to get out of the inning. The pitch to Ortiz. Bouncing ball towards short. B.B. Richard charges. There's a throw. He is out. He threw it into the dirt, but Carlos came up with it.
The batter, number 15, Ken Rudolph, catcher.
As Don Unford relayed to us, there's no fracture in Joe Horlen's knee. That's positive news. He has his knee wrapped up, and he will accompany the Cubs to Chicago this afternoon. Here's Rudolph, the pitch. Knuckleball outside. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out, nobody on. Ed Herman will lead it off for the White Sox in the 11th. If we can go that far, here's the pitch. Bouncing ball to Richards. Come on in. Lee, he's got it. There's the peg. High, but he is... Ow! Ed Richards got one of the most powerful, but he still has an erratic arm. Now that one he almost threw over Carlos May's head. Carlos is grinning. He had to leap into the air, come down, and stab at the bag. The throw before he had to scoop out of the dirt. And the same men threw both of them. So it's 1-2-3. Wilbur Wood breezed through the 10th. And at the end of 10, it's still tied. White Sox 4, Cubs 4. Whether the black hair.
Folks, we certainly hope you're enjoying today's ball game. We want to remind you that there's a souvenir available in front of the grandstand. is the anniversary souvenir book for the silver anniversary of the Cactus League. The entire story of the Cactus League in this book was stories of all the teams that have played out here. We think you'll really enjoy it, and it's for sale for only $1.
Do we have anything on Bonham?
No, nothing.
Ask him right now. Let me see if he's got a little brochure. Yeah, he's in.
I think there's something in that cup book. The little one. Club roster book. No, there's nothing in there. No, there's nothing. Isn't there something in the back there? Not much.
We go to the 11th inning now, and Ed Herman's going to lead it off. He's had 1 out of 3 facing Bill Bonham. Ed Herman leading it off. Wilbur Wood due to be next. The ball game in the 11th, we're all tied 4-4. We'd have been around the Executive House pool by now if Kessinger hadn't gotten a base hit to tie it up. That's baseball for you. Ed Herman digging in. Young Bill Bonham, right-hander delivers. Herman takes a fastball high. 1 ball, no strikes. Herman hit 19 homers last season for the White Sox. Hasn't hit one this spring as yet. Now the line, the pitch. Popped up. Santos going to have a play. Over near the stands. He's got room now, and he's there. Hey! Falls off balance, holds on to the ball. Herman fouled to Santos. 1 out. Wilbur Wood will hit for himself. He'll bat right-handed. He pitches left-handed. Looking ahead to the Cubs 11. They'll have Pepitone, Kessinger, and Beckett coming up. 1 out, nobody on. Chuck Tanner and Leo DeRocher are talking. Again, could be discussing how long, whether there's any deadline on this game as a result of plane connections. One out, nobody on. The pitch to Wilbur Wood. Fastball inside. Wood batting right-handed. 1 away. We're in the 11th. Now the signal given. Wilbur Wood waiting. Bonham's pitch. Strike call. This kid pumps that ball hard. 2 balls and a strike. 1 man out. Bonham has been... He isn't even on the Cubs roster. But they haven't cut him yet. Here's the pitch. Strike call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. E.B. Richard will be next. Followed by Walt Williams. They can keep it going. Now the windup, the 2-2 pitch on the way. He struck him out on a curveball. Wood is called out on strikes, and here is Richard. He's had 1 hit today, 1 out of 4.
The next batter, number 9, Lee Richard.
The Cubs made some cuts today. They haven't given us the information, and I know Pizarro and Danny Breeden were 2 of the 4 or 5 boys cut.
They were still about 5 men over. Here's the pitch on the way now. Richard takes a curveball outside. B.B. Richard, the leadoff man. Walt Williams next. Score tied 4-4. And every time the Cubs hold the White Sox in extra innings, the better their chances of winning the ball game. Here's Richard fouling the ball back to the screen. It bounces back to where Walt Williams is standing in the on-deck circle, and he kind of plays high-lie with his bat, juggles the ball on the end of the bat, and then catches it. 1-1 pitch. Low fastball. 2 balls and a strike, and should Beebe get on, you can expect him to steal. He stole a base in the 5th. 2 balls and a strike. Now the pitch. Swung and looped off the end of the bat, foul. That evens it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out. Game tied 4-4.
Would it be something, Harry, if this wound up in a tie and they had to call it off because of the plane connections?
From a public relations standpoint, it would be perfect. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. I think if I were them, I would do just that. And then the fans of the White Sox could be satisfied, and the fans of the Cubs would be happy. Neither team would yet be the city champion. Here's the pitch. Swung on a looping liner in the center, base hit. Beebe rounds first base. Let's watch him. Goes halfway to second, comes back. So Richard gets his second hit, a line single to center, and here's Walt Williams. He's been a hero in a lot of games during spring training. Can he do it again?
Williams has shifted to right field.
Williams drove in a run in the seventh with a base hit to right. Steps into the batter's box. Bill Bonham, a sidearm right-hander with good stuff. B.B. Richard taking a lead off first base. Here's the stretch. Here's the pitch. There he goes. Wild pitch. He might wind up at third. He's sliding, though, not knowing that the ball got away. He's sliding into second base with a stolen base, not knowing that the pitch had gotten away. And if he'd have kept his feet, I would have been a bit surprised to see him go all the way to third.
Yeah, Harry, on these wild pitches, situations like that, these runners have a problem in judgment because the ball comes back over this backstop and right back to the catcher.
So now, just a base hit would put the White Sox ahead. Walt Williams waiting. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. And Williams calls time to squeeze the rosin bag. Mike Andrews is next. Williams, no neck. 195-pounder on a 5'6" frame. Reminiscent. They're going to walk him intentionally to get to Andrews now. They're going to walk him intentionally. An intentional pass. That brings up Mike Andrews with runners at first and second. Andrews has been hitless today, nothing out of 5. Walt Williams sprints down to first base. So here's Andrews. Nothing out of 5 with a chance here to put the White Sox in front. Walt Williams at first base. B.B. Richard at second base. Andrews, a big red number 2 on the back of his pastel blue uniform. Here's the pitch. Curveball inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. They play Andrews straight away and deep. Ooh, I'd like to see him plug the gap in either left center or right center. Right-hand hitter waiting. Bonham in his second inning of relief. Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. Started a swing, held up, curveball, hit the outside corner of the knee, and that evens it. A ball and a strike. Bonham has a good curveball. Tall, rangy kid from UCLA. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch to Andrews. And here it is. Low outside. 2 balls and a strike. Bill Melton would be next. Melton has had 4 hits today, 4 out of 5. Without his bat, the White Sox wouldn't be leading, and without his air, the Cubs wouldn't be tied. So that's how it goes. 2 balls and a strike. Here is the pitch. Swung and he missed the curve. Yes, sir, without his bat, the White Sox wouldn't have had the early lead they enjoyed of 4 to nothing. He doubled and scored a run in the second. He homered in the third. He's also singled and doubled since then. But Andrews has evened up 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Here it is. Swings and he foul tips. Bonham keeps throwing him sidearm curveball. Andrews keeps pulling him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the 11th. Score tied, 4-4. Bright sunshine. It's 4 o'clock here in Arizona. 5 o'clock in Chicago. They're dancing at the nightclubs in Tokyo. Here's the pitch. Outside curve, ball 3. Boy, he almost hit that corner with that. And now the count is 3-2, and the runners will be going with the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bonham steps back off the rubber. He's going to pitch off the stretch, of course. Richard will be breaking, as will Walt Williams. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the stretch. Here's the pitch. There go the runners. Ball 4, high. The bases are loaded. And here's Milt. Can he do it again? The bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Bill Milton, third base.
Milton has had 2 doubles, a single, and a homer. Here's a spot where he'll be looking just for the base hit. Bonham had a pitch out of trouble in the 10th, and now he's in a jam again here in the 11th. Bases loaded, 2 out. Melton waiting. Here's the windup, the pitch on the way. Curve right in there, a strike call. This kid has a fine curveball. For just a year out of college, he has great pitching poise. 1 strike and no ball. Bases jam with 2 out. The pitch to Bill Melton. Almost hit him inside. Boy, he's thrown about 7 curveballs in a row. The Cub catcher, Ken Rudolph, must have an olive stuck between his fingers. All he signals is number 2 for the curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right-hand hitter waiting. The pitch by Bonham. Here it is. Popped up. They'll be out of this inning. Beckert under the ball. And he makes the catch. Melton pops to Beckert. So it's no run. 1 hit, no errors, 3 left. The White Sox have stranded 5 in the last 2 innings. And the momentum of this ball game seems to have moved slowly over towards the Cubs side. So we move into the bottom of the 11th, still tied 4-4.
Get over with. Tom, you'll cut the postgame show quite a bit. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's 5 o'clock in Chicago.
Yes, it doesn't make any difference how long you go, as long as you get your spots.
We get the spots. Rick wanted to make that airplane. He may not be able to come over.
Don't forget, if you leave today, folks, pick up your souvenir copy of the silver anniversary of the Cactus Plate on sale in front of the grandstand. The first batter.
Let's pause for identification. This is the Chicago White Sox Baseball Network.
First base.
Harry Carey back at the ballpark, bottom of the 11th, Joe Pepitone leading it off. He's had 1 out of 2 today. Here's the pitch by Wilbur Wood. Knuckleball a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. Pepitone drove in their first run in the 7th inning. With 2 out, he singled to center to score Rudolph. Here's the pitch on the way. Knuckleball in there, a beauty, a strike called. And the count evens, a ball and a strike. It'll be Pepitone, Kessinger, and Beckert. And if anybody gets on, Billy Williams for the Cubs in the 11th. The White Sox have to hold them to have a chance. Here's the pitch. Knuckleball swung, a little dribbler toward short. Here's Lee Richards' throw. He is out on a good play. Richard throws out Pepitone. Pepitone hit that off the end of the bat. He just sort of oozed toward short with a lot of reverse spin. Richard fielded the ball and then gunned him out. Here's Kessinger, who sent this game into extra innings. 1 out, nobody on. That was his only hit of the game, a single off Wilbur Wood to drive in 2 runs in the 9th. The pitch. Knuckleball low. Kessinger, switch hitter. Boy, this guy has made himself a $60,000 a year shortstop. Here's the pitch. And knuckleball inside. And he had to work hard. He had to learn to switch hit. Always had great range and fine arm. 29-year-old shortstop. The pitch by Wilbur Wood. Line drive right to the third baseman. Kessinger lined hard to Melton. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Glenn Beckert.
The next batter, number 18, Glenn Beckert, second base.
Beckert from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's 31 years old. He came up with the Cubs in 1955. Right-handed hitter waiting, 2 men out. He's 2 out of 5 today. The pitch. Knuckleball low. Billy Williams is next. The final exhibition game of the season is an extra inning thriller between the Cubs and the White Sox for the mythical city title. The pitch. Inside. Don't walk this guy with Billy Williams coming up next. 2 balls, no strikes. Beckert waiting. Here's Wilbur Wood's pitch. Right in there, a beauty, a strike call. Glenn Beckert, not known for his power, more of a singles-doubles hitter. There's a fastball inside. Beckert last year hit 3 home runs. The year before, he hit only 1. In his major league career, he's hit a total of 17. Here's the pitch. High fly ball, should be caught. Rick Reichert is there waiting. Makes the catch to retire the side. So Wilbur Wood, his second straight perfect inning. Nothing across. At the end of 11, tied up 4-4.
Once again, a change of cassettes and a few minutes missed.
From the belt, the pitch. Wide curveball, outside, and the count. Ball 2. And Rick Reichert steps out of the batter's box to look at Joe Lynette to see whether it's hit or take. Ed Stroud will be next. Runner at first base, nobody out. We're in the 12th. In each of the last 2 innings, the White Sox threat, only to be stopped. They've stranded 5 in the last 2 innings. Here's the pitch to Rick Reichert. Right in there. And if he had the hit sign, he'll never get a better pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Runner at first base, nobody out. Top of the 12th. Here's a lead by Carlos May. Pepitone holding him close. Now the pitch. Swings at a bad ball. A little roller to the second baseman, Beckert. To Kessinger for 1 over to first. Safe. Reichert rolled to Beckert, who forced Carlos May with a toss to Kessinger. And here's Ed Stroud. Stroud has been a hot hitter. He's had 7 out of 10 since joining the White Sox. 2 doubles and a triple included.
Batter number 6, Ed
Reichert at first, 1 out. I think a sign might have been missed on that one. Rick Reichert went after the ball as if he thought the hit and run were on. And Carlos May didn't break off first as if there wasn't any hit and run on. Because Reichert went after the bad ball as if to protect the runner. Pitch to Stroud. Curveball in there at the knee. 1 strike, no ball. Bonham has been tremendous. He's pitched out of trouble in each of 3 innings that he's worked. 1 strike, no ball. Now the pitch. Pitch out. There goes the runner. They should throw him out a mile. He's out. From Rudolph to Kessinger. And the Cubs had diagnosed the play perfectly. Called for the pitch out, and Rudolph gummed him out. Now Stroud is up there with nobody on base. The count on him, a ball and a strike. Bill Bonham looks down. Stands 6'5". Here's the pitch on the way. Stroud takes a strike. Over the outside corner, 2 strikes and a ball. Ed Herman would be next if Stroud can get on there. Looking ahead to the Cubs' 12th, it'll be Billy Williams, Ron Santo. And then the pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. All low, evens it up. All even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ed Stroud with the White Sox the second go-around. Was with Washington last year, the last couple of years. Here's the pitch. Swung in the foul tip. The count stays the same. Crowd quiet now. Terry Forster is warming up in the bullpen. Cincinnati enjoys its annual inaugural in the National League tomorrow afternoon. Here's the pitch. He struck him out. Stroud goes there swinging. And Bonham has been a most impressive pitcher. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We're moving to the bottom of the 12th, tied 4-4.
Go ahead, get a beer, kid. Right now. may go right to the car and go home.
Well, somebody will hit the roof here.
Yeah, it is.
Ed Herman, the pitcher, and the B.B. Richard.
We go into the bottom of the 12th. Billy Williams will lead it off for the Cubs. He's walked 3 times today. He's nothing out of 2.
The first batter for the Cubs, the bottom of the 12th inning, number 26.
So Billy Williams. And Wilbur Wood really has a job in this inning. Billy Williams leads it off, then Ron Santo, and then the pitcher coming up. Wood has pitched. He's retired the last 8 men he's faced. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung at a knuckleball, and he missed. Strike 1. 1 strike and no ball. The outfield plays you know where. Walt Williams is almost out of sight in right field. Now the windup, the pitch on the way. Here it is. Knuckleball swings, and he misses. Strike 2. 2 did he go around. Wilbur Wood ahead of him. 2 strikes and nothing. Santo will be up there next. Out of sight. Here's the pitch on the way. Knuckleball swung, and there's a long drive way back. Might be a stride near the wall. Way back, and he makes the catch. Holy cow. 430 feet away. Williams with the count of 2 strikes and no balls. Wilbur Wood threw him another knuckleball and got it up around his eyes. It didn't quite knuckle as much as the other 2, and Williams almost into the game. Stroud went back to the 4:30 mark to haul it in. Here's Santo. Popped up with the bases loaded and 1 out of the 9th when the Cubs could have won it. He is nothing out of 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4 is right. 1 out of 5 is right. First pitch, knuckleball inside. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 12th, tied 4-4. White Sox haven't scored for a long time, since the 7th inning. Here's Santo hitting a knuckleball foul off to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Gary Jestad's going to be the pinch hitter next, an infielder. Gary Jestad. J-S-T-A-D-T. Here's the pitch. He swings and he misses. 2 strikes and a ball. Santo was trying to end it. Billy Williams a moment ago almost did end it. His long drive fortunately was hit to the longest part of the park. And Stroud went about 430 feet away to grab it. 2 strikes and a ball. The pitch to Santo. Here it is. Knuckleball a little bit outside. That evens it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gary Jestad will be next. Here's the pitch on the way. Ground ball to short. B.B. Richard on the big hop. Here's the throw. In time. It pulled Carlos May off the bag, but he tagged Santo on the chest going by. 2 gone. And here's Gary Jestad.
Number 16, Gary Jestad.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. B.B. Richard has handled 11 chances without an error around shortstop today. Here's the pitch to Jestad. He bunts. Down the third base line, foul. Strike 1. 1 strike and no ball. Oh, thank you. Boy, we're dehydrated. This hot sun shining right through on our back in this booth. Too bad we don't have a beer sponsor. This would be a great time for an ad lib. 2 men are out. 1 strike and no balls on Gary Jestad. Batting for Bill Bonham. Here's the pitch by Wilbur Wood. Knocks him back. This is Wilbur Woods. He's actually pitched now. This will be his 4th full inning. He relieved with runners at 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. White Sox leading 4-2 in the 9th. Here's the pitch. Knuckleball gets away. from Ed Herman. Johnny Callison will be next for the Cubs. Jestad trying to get on. 2 balls and a strike. 2 out. Ed Herman will lead it off in the 13th for the White Sox. The pitch. Low, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Gary Jestad, a Chicago, Illinois boy, now lives out here in Scottsdale. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Strike 2 call. Jestad hit 2 homers for Tacoma last year and 1 for San Antonio. 24-year-old infielder. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. He walked him, and here's Johnny Callison.
The batter, number 6, Johnny Callison, right field.
Boy, that Bonham pitched 3 pressure innings, allowed 3 hits, no runs. And he was really tough in the clinch. He walked 3 and struck out 2. So the Cubs will have another pitch on the 13th, I suppose, although I don't see anybody warming up. Here's a throw to first to run it back. Johnny Callison has had 2 hits. 2 out of 5. Here's a throw to first, runner back again. Gary Jestad is the runner at first. They drew a base on balls. That's a second given up by Wilbur Wood. Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. Into the dirt. There he goes to second base. A throw by Herman. Close. Safe at second base. So the Cubs have the winning run at second. A wild pitch. Herman quickly recovered it and fired to second, and they almost got Jestad. Now Callison in the spot to win it. We're in the bottom of the 12th, 2 out. With 2 out, Wilbur Wood walked the pinch hitter, Gary Jestad. After retiring, Billy Williams and Ron Santo. Now a wild pitch has put him in scoring position. And a pitch to Callison on the way. Knuckleball inside. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 out, a runner in scoring position. The outfield plays Callison to pull. Now to stretch, the hesitation. Here it is. Ground ball up the middle, there's the ball game. Here's Jestad around third, he's going to score, and the Cubs have won the city championship, beating the White Sox in 12 innings, 5-4. So Johnny Callison bounced one right up the middle, his 3rd hit of the game. And Wilbur Wood, an unfortunate base on balls with 2 outs to a relatively weak pinch hitter, relatively when you consider Billy Williams and Ron Santo, whom he had just retired. So that actually cost them the ball game. And it is 1 run, 1 hit for the Chicago Cubs in the bottom of the 12th, and they win the City Series, coming from behind to nip the White Sox here in 12 innings, 5-4.